Doing a new best ball draft for fantasy football 2026. Can't wait to get into it with our guests. But before we do, I'm going to intro. Please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. As always, I have something on for the merch store. It is our March is Greed month. Very appropriate for what we might discuss later. But you can get that as well as everything else at the merch store right here. 10% off sale right now. You can get these shirts in any color. You can get them in long sleeve hoodie, women's tank top, and infant onesie. We have mugs. We have our famous apron. We have playing cards, mouse pads, more mugs here, baseball caps, anything you could possibly want, 10% off sale. You can get my books, the most recent one, Jerks of the College Years, which has a 5 out of 5 rating. So it might be the best book of all time. You never know. You might have to read it. My first book is The Safety and a Field Goal, which is a top 5 topic book about the NFL. And please consider super chats and super stickers. That really is the best way to support the show. I can't say that enough. YouTube pays us nothing. My co-host tonight can attest to that. He's also on YouTube. He may say that YouTube pays nothing. It's really sad. And we need the super chats, super stickers. But our co-host tonight is a Patrick Libertarian Overwatch. Patrick, how are you? And do you want to intro yourself for those who are listening to you for the first time?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Patrick. I run the Substack Libertarian Overwatch. I also am currently writing for the Libertarian Institute. Basically, we're just covering like protest movements. Both, most recently, I was writing an article today about the Flamingo Revolution that's currently happening in Albania. So that's been a lot of fun to kind of research it. But yeah, we've also been covering ones in Serbia and Iran, in Georgia and Ukraine and all of that. So it's been a lot of fun. We've also written articles about the cartel that is the NFL. We've done ones about how even roller coasters nowadays are seeing issues when it comes, inflation and tariffs and things like that. So a whole variety of different things. So yeah, that's kind of what I do.
That's awesome. Wait, I got asked with the roller coaster, but real quick, Matthias said you should show this halfway through the show. Normally, if this were a short video, I would, but I like doing that at the beginning to get like everyone in. The first minute or two, like people may not be popping in yet, so that's why I do it. But explain to me what's happening with these roller coasters with the tariffs and everything. Like, are people like not supposed to ride roller coasters now? Is it not safe?
So, okay, there are like multiple different companies that, make a lot of roller coasters, right? And so there's this one from Switzerland called Balagar and Magyar. They just call it B&M. And like right around 2020, when you're going on those rides, because they used to be like super high quality, like you may have seen like when Fabio, when he got hit in the face with the bird way back in the day, that was on Apollo's Chariot at Williamsburg. And so these rides are supposed to be like, world renowned. People pay millions of dollars for it. Ever since 2020, if you go on one of those rides, it is like, it is so rattly. We did one at SeaWorld Orlando earlier this year, and the whole time we were like, I gotta get off of this. It's just,
oh my God.
But the thing is, your average person like who like just casually is going to a park, they may not notice it, but like for someone who's ridden like one away from riding 100 coasters, you can definitely notice it, And so my theory is that the company who is behind it all, they also have their parts done at a Ohio factory, but I am guessing there were some shortcuts made along the way. There are like some subsidiaries that, kind of came up around 2022, 2023, which you can only find in like a Switzerland magazine that I discovered in my research. So I even tried to call them, but it wouldn't take international numbers. So, but yeah, so that's how, even that industry is getting impacted by, tariffs and just crazy inflation. Like, I mean, steel prices, I forget the percent that was on it, but the steel prices are just like shooting through the roof, and I know lumber is another one, even though they don't make like wooden coasters like that anymore anyways, but
everything has gone through the roof. It's crazy. Like I was talking to my friend a few days ago, and he was like, RAM has like quadrupled in price. Like, he fixes computers and stuff. And he's like, it's insane how expensive it's gotten. Everything has soared since 2020, for obvious reasons. But would you advise against riding roller coasters now, or at least new ones?
Oh no, just that company, and it's not even a safety thing. I mean, they do like so many checks and things like that. But it's just that company, just go into it like knowing, like I went to the Busch Gardens, they had a new one. It's like a kid's kind of ride. It's like, 30 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour, chill one. And they just made this last year. It felt like it was made in the 90s. I got off mad. I was like, I cannot believe that this is like, because they have great theming and everything. It looks really nice, but it does not ride good at all. And I'm like, this is crazy. So, on top of it, next week they're opening up I don't know if you've ever seen like a dive coaster, but it's one where it kind of hangs you here. And then it just kind of drops you, like it releases you as you're just staring straight down.
Yeah.
They have one that is going to be 300 feet tall that's opening in Texas next week. And it's that company. And I'm scared. I'm like, knowing how rattly like a kid's ride is at SeaWorld, I don't know how that's going to go. So, and it even got delayed too. So it'll be very interesting to see how that goes.
Jeez. When I hear stuff like that, I always like think back to like the Bill Gates, like, oh, we can drop the world's population by 15%. And it's like, is this his company? Like, I don't know. Like always like I'm suspicious of that sort of thing, but
the King Farquaad, it's the risk I'm willing to take, from Shark.
Oh man. All right. Well, I'm gonna hop in this draft. Might have to wait like a minute or two, or maybe not. Actually, it's gonna be real quick. So you, as we wait, you mentioned, and you talked about this the last time you were on, how you wrote an article about the NFL. Do you want to talk about that briefly as we wait for this? We had 2 minutes, but yeah, we had the first pick.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing that in covering that one is just the way that they go about contracts, where like as you need, Tubi to watch your NFL Thursday night game, or just that expansion and how it's all monetary based and things like that. But yet never is like players consideration here, where you have the international games. I mean, now we've seen how much is expanded this year too. And really dove into the Ray Rice case too. And it's crazy to know that Robert Mueller was the one who was involved in the Ray Rice case too. I mean, I kind of forgot about that, and going back on that, I was like, whoa, this is really a reveal here.
It's crazy.
So those are some of the things we talked about, especially, I mean, just no equal justice, where it's like, Ray Rice, if those tapes and stuff did not come out, then, I mean, who knows? He was ready to play like that week. But then Josh Gordon, because he's, smoking weed, he's exiled for forever from the league, and things like that. So
how dare he?
I know. So yeah, those kind of things made it so, just as a football fan, it's just, I'm not as into it as I used to be. And I wonder if that's why the case is, where the international games are not just like a fun, unique thing. It's we're doing this every week.
I know.
You can watch Thursday night football. You can watch Black Friday. It's New Year's Eve. It's New Year's. It's it's just oversaturation, which that's the best part about football, is that it's very short. It's not MLB. It's not these seasons that go on forever. So that's kind of like the consensus of that article and things like that.
Yeah, if football were played, like if you're a Giants fan, right? If the Giants played 5 or 6 days a week, would you have like any interest in it? It feels like, maybe a little bit, but not as much. Okay, the world's your oyster here. You can take anyone you want. Who do you have?
All right, let's take that man on the top. Let's take Bijan Robinson.
All right.
I think you can't go wrong there.
Any reason? Because some people have Gibbs first, some people have Robinson first. Any what's your reasoning there, or is it just like almost 50-50?
I'll just say, like, at this point, undeniable talent and things like that. I feel like Gibbs still at times will get, obviously he's going to get the pun intended, lion's share of the workload, but I feel like still at a time you're going to see like the backup player, like they were very willing to use David Montgomery and things like that, and Bijan just as a dual threat. I mean, super, because he was picked top 10 overall when he was drafted too. So just like undeniable talent too. I feel like this is the year that he really shines.
What's funny is like the two foils to these guys, like Algier is getting like some goal line carries, and Montgomery for Gibbs, like they're both gone. Like it feels like they're both unleashed this year. And it's kind of, it's kind of weird. It's the same time, it wasn't like stacked differently. Like if it was only Robinson getting his handcuff gone, then he would be the clear number one guy, and or Gibbs, vice versa. But they're both gone. And so you can make a strong case for either. What I don't get is people taking Chase first. It's like you have two elite running backs like at the top, and you're going to go Chase. Like Chase is amazing, but like Cincinnati's defense is even worse this year. So, it's better. It's better. So that means Cincinnati's offense is not going to score or need to score as much in as many games. So that's, that's why I think like you definitely have to go with the two running backs to start.
Yeah.
Have you done a lot of drafts yet? I mean, I know it's only July 2nd. Have you done any drafts at all, or is this like your first or second one?
This is the first one right here. You know, I like to look at general like rankings and see like where they're all kind of lining up through the offseason and things like that. But yeah, usually around it's around like mid to late August. Like I think once preseason starts hit, not the Hall of Fame game, that doesn't even count. But like once the preseason kind of starts and just, you know, I don't think the preseason does a good job of capturing like players' talents. You know, as mentioned before, like Daniel Jones in the preseason looked like Dan Marino, Joe Montana, all combined. But it does show you like that rapport, that like the chemistry that the receivers have with the quarterbacks and things like that, or you know what kind of general game plans coaches have going. You know, especially I think offensive lines are also a big key. Like, I can't think of like examples in the past, but I know there have been times where I've seen like offensive lines just look awful in the preseason, and then kind of steer clear of that running back unless they have the shiftiness of a little, Le'Veon Bell or something like that.
Yeah, I think a good example is the Patriots in 2024 when they had like, I think in one half of a game they had like 7 penalties or 9 penalties or something like that, like in one half, the offensive line, and it just looks like such a clown show. And that was the year that was Drake May's first year. But, that was when Brissett started to begin the year. And, that the team was obviously like pretty bad. Now they did have their moments like here and there with May, but like it was pretty clear that they couldn't block at all. So, yeah, that's definitely a good example. The downside of the preseason is that some teams don't even play their starters at all. Like the ever since Sean McVay got to the Rams, he has not played a single starter in the preseason ever. And that's happened to a lot of teams. And sometimes you get like Team A will play. They're thinking, like, we'll play all our starters in week 2 of the preseason, and the other team's like, no, we're playing all starters in week 3 of the preseason, and like they just miss each other. So it's like starters versus backups, and then the next week it's the other team starters versus some other team's backups. It's like you just don't get like any competition like you used to. It used to be so much different,
Yeah, I mean, it's just preseason. You mentioned it before. Like, what was his name? Mac Brown, was that the running back?
Yeah,
Washington, or was it Paul Turner? I think the Eagles wide receiver. That was a couple years back. But and they're like, oh, it matters so much, so important. Like, okay, all right.
I love the announcers are like, everything on the line for these players. And like Cam Cameron in 2007 didn't even show up to the preseason finale. Stayed home.
You mentioned like announcers. Oh my gosh, I had this one experience where it was week 1 of the NFL season, and we were driving home. And we were listening to like the game on the radio, and we were kind of joking. I'll let you get your pick in here, and then I'll tell you the story.
You have to make your pick too. So this is ADP right here. You can see this.
Cool.
I'm gonna make my pick right now, and I don't get to draft this guy a lot because his ADP is risen. I'm gonna take Devontae Smith. I think he's gonna have a huge year. And you get to pick, according to ADP, the best players are Trey McBride, Pickens, Josh Allen, Jeremiah Love, Chris Olave, Kyron Williams, Zay Flowers, Emeka Egbuka, Breece Hall. Who do you like here?
What's hilarious is that when I looked at it before you picked, it was going to be Devonta Smith.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay. I'm going to say right now, and so we have
10 seconds.
Here. Let's go with we're going to go with Breece Hall. Go with a little bit of a flower pick here, I guess.
Okay.
I feel like his talent is just insane. I mean, We'll see how the Jets actually play this year, but his talent is like Marshall Faulk level when he's at his, when he's on his, A game and things like that.
I love Hall. I would love Hall even more if I knew that Geno Smith was going to play all year. Not that I'm a Geno Smith fan, obviously, but the backup is Cade Klubnik, and he's a runner. And whenever you have a scrambling quarterback, that's fewer receptions for the running back. So I'm hoping that, we'll see what happens with Geno and his legal situation. But, for Breece Hall purposes, and I've drafted him like quite a bit. Like I hope that he will he'll kind of remain the starter for Breece Hall. We had a super chat, first time in 2 months, super chat. Kevin Kovac, thank you so much, Kevin. He says, unbelievable trades and free agency around the NBA. It will be completely different league next year. And how can anyone ever responsibly place an NBA player prop bet at this point? That's true. Happy 4th of July. Yes, that is absolutely true. I don't know how anyone can play player props when you've had so much controversy I don't know if you have an experience with that. Like, do you play player props, or do you bet the NBA, or are you into the NBA? And I don't think I've ever talked to you about that.
Yeah, not too much. I tried to do what Evan has talked about, where you do like kind of like in the last few minutes, especially where you go like hit threes over, kind of ladder them and things like that. That's
Yeah.
basically the most I've done with it. Or sometimes if I get like a bonus, I'll throw it on like a 3-player parlay or something on Underdog or whatever betting sport book it is.
Are you? Well, you're a Giants fan. Are you also a Knicks fan?
I never got. I don't know. I was a Magic fan for 1 year in like 2009 for some reason randomly,
Yeah.
and it was the year when they had like Dwight Howard and they're playing the Lakers, I think, in the finals.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just never picked an NBA team really. I was a Yankees fan. I was definitely a big Yankees fan.
Mhm.
I got to go to the old Yankee Stadium when that was still open, so that was really cool.
Mhm.
But yeah, I never picked a basketball team like that.
Okay. Well, I was about to congratulate you on the Knicks, but because I won't do that. No. And I bring up the Knicks because I had the Spurs at 70-1 to win the NBA Finals, but I bet the Knicks live when they were down big in Game
Mhm.
4 and Game 5, and I got like 14-1, and I got like 9-1. It was pretty crazy to hit both of them. It's
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it's insane. So like that sort of live betting, I think it's fine. But anything pregame, where the players are gonna be conscious of it, because I think only us degenerates play live like that, like crazy. Once in a while it's fine, but like we play live like crazy. So they're not into it. It's not like, oh, the number was 17.5 in the third quarter, I better go over. Like they're never going to do it that way. It's always going to be the starting number that's controversial. So that is that's what I would care about. Just try to avoid that. It is pretty crazy. Although we're gonna have someone on the show in a couple of weeks or next week. I don't know exactly when, but he came up with, like, he noticed something with the sports books where some of the numbers are like rigged to get public like betting on them on like a leg of a parlay. So
Mhm.
I think that's gonna be a really interesting conversation. I think that we can glean something out of that. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, so we're in the middle of the fourth round here. Jeremiah Love went 307. I just I don't know. I feel like everyone is like, oh, you got to draft Jeremiah Love. Like, people I respect too. I'm just like, I can't draft these rookies,
Yeah.
especially after Ashton Genty last year. Just can't do it. Do you? How are you with like the rookies? Like, do you tend to draft them a lot, or do you avoid them?
I drafted them last year, and I'm not drafting them this year.
I know.
I had
Especially, yeah, go ahead.
Harvey was one of them.
Yeah.
Granted, he wasn't like a starter; he was like a backup on like my year-long fantasy league. And there's another rookie too, and I'm blanking on who it was, but I drafted him pretty high up too, and same thing. And it wasn't Genty, but yeah, also a big letdown.
Is it Henderson?
It wasn't Henderson either. I can't remember who it was now. I'm
Okay.
blanking. I'll have to check my old team, but yeah, I drafted like multiple rookies, and they all let me down. It's like I don't think you're gonna have like 2014 Brandon Cooks, Mike Evans, Odell Beckham type, rookie years. It's yeah, I'm avoiding rookies like the plague.
Yeah, I think it's smart to do that. Just you can't trust them, and especially this rookie class. This rookie class is like the worst we've had since 2013. I'm going to sort by ADP again. Do you like Cam Scatterbo? Because I want to draft him, but he could be your pick too if you want.
I do like him at this level. Yeah. I think this. I saw him. I didn't even believe he was still here at this point.
I know.
That's crazy.
Who else would you want here? I'm going to star Scatterbo because we could make this next pick together, I guess.
Yeah.
So I started Scatterbo. We're going to take him. Who else do you like? We have McMillan, Evans, Swift, Jackson, Jameson Williams, Watson, Judkins, Tootin, Henderson. Speaking of Henderson.
I feel like we could go with like a wide receiver of some kind here. I don't know if the names really excite me though.
I like Jameson Williams the best out of these guys. He was so explosive in the second half of the year when Dan Campbell took over the play calling and he got rid of John Morton. So do you want to take him?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right. So we have 3 running backs and 2 receivers right now. We have Bijan, Hall, and Scatterbo. I can't believe he was there, just like you said.
It's not up at the top, and I was like, I feel like he's going like what, round 3 typically, right?
I've seen him go like early round 4,
Okay.
but that's like 412 is such a steal.
Yeah.
And then to start with Devontae Smith and Jameson Williams as well, I think that's really good.
Yeah.
We could have gone with McMillan as well. I don't know about his work ethic. That's the only thing that scares me
Mhm.
about that. So, and Bucky Irving is starting to creep up. Like he was going around 6 a bit earlier. Now that I think people kind of realize that he's healthy, he's going earlier. The other running back, if Scatabo wasn't there, I was going to consider Bashal Tutin. We don't really know if he's going to be the main ball carrier, but like he was Liam Cohen's handpicked guy, and like he is more explosive play than Rodriguez, and Rodriguez is hurt too. So that's it's kind of like triple whammy there. But so you're a Giants fan, and I asked you this last time you were on, but it's been a while. So how do you feel about your team this year with the new coaching staff and your young quarterback having experience and everything, Scatabo coming back from injury? Like how confident are you in that their playoff chances, let's say, for this year?
I'm definitely feeling more confident than recent years. I feel like if there's expectations, they're not going to do well. If there's no expectations, they do well. That's usually how it goes and stuff,
Yeah.
And I know people have been like talking up the Cowboys over the offseason. I'm just like, they're just like a money pit. They're like, I'm trying to think of their Enron. It's like, why do people keep betting on the Cowboys? They never are gonna, make it. So yeah, I feel like at this point, I mean, I feel like the Eagles still have it, but I mean, they even have their own problems too. So I'm not saying we're going out and winning the division for sure, but I think a wild card is definitely a possibility. I think the coach is like the biggest addition. We've had so many just lousy coaches throughout the years since Coughlin. Really, it's been McAdoo and all these characters. To actually have like a legit football coach in the room and to have a young quarterback at the helm too, where having Harbaugh with him is going to be awesome. So I'm excited for it. The injuries I'm still a little weary on. I don't know how Neighbors and Scatabo are going to do, coming off an injury like that. So that's one thing that I'm kind of keeping an eye on, but definitely like feeling like I can actually watch Giants games. Like last year it was exciting to watch Giants games, but before that it was like, I don't know if I really want to watch this one. Daniel Jones, outside of his rookie year, which was really promising. Not much else exciting wise for the Giants for a couple of years there.
Yeah, it felt like the Giants last year there's like a stretch between week 4 and I can't remember the week that Scatabo got hurt. It was the rematch against the Eagles. It felt like they were really exciting and they could pull upsets over anyone because they beat the Eagles in that Thursday night game. And it's like, this team might be ahead of schedule here. And then unfortunately Scatabo got hurt, and it felt like when he got hurt, it just felt like the team just quit that game. It's just like they just felt like so upset by the injury. I remember watching that live. Like, talk about live betting. I'm like, I'm betting the Eagles here. Like this Giants team, they seem like so so out of it. It's kind of like when Tank Dell got hurt. CJ Stroud had like 2 weeks where he just like didn't seem to care about football, you know. And you can kind of look for those sort of things in betting football and really any sport, especially football though, because you could have some really devastating injuries, and unfortunately, you don't want to take advantage of it, but it's there. So it's funny you mentioned Enron. It got like vibes like Micron recently. Like you see like that their earnings were unbelievable, and like ever since then, like their stock has tanked from like 1,200 to like now it's like 980 or something now.
These stocks it's like I don't know how these people who try to predict earnings, like, because you'll get the earnings right and then it'll just tank, or the opposite. I saw Nike recently was one that like, and even if you look at the after hours, it's like it'll peak and it goes way back down. It's crazy. Or people who play earnings are a different level of degeneracy. Like I don't know, how you can play earnings. Like the only one that I remember like back in the day was Clove. Clove always did good because it was like an up and growing company. They're always adding more subscribers. That was one that like always I was like, okay, get some shares before their earnings. Boom, you'll be good. But that's like about it. Like everything else is just like you don't know.
I know. It's crazy. I put we're up next. So I put Metcalf went. My pick will be Jalen Hurts, and I'll just star him so you get to have more time. I'm going to pair him with Devontae Smith. So best players available, according to ADP, Caleb Williams, Quentin Johnston, Ramondre Stevenson, Trooper Hubbard, Jalen Warren, Tucker Kraft, Dak Prescott, Alec Pierce, Justin Herbert, Cortland Sutton, Chris Godwin, Michael Wilson. I could keep going if you want, but those are the best players available.
Yeah, I'm feeling Hubbard right now. I feel like
okay.
I think of those ones. I'm feeling Hubbard, and I feel mostly because I feel like quarterback is still I feel like outside of like the top guys, there's always a toss up, and like any week it could be any of the quarterbacks, you know.
Mhm.
Um, so at this point, I feel like Hubbard is the one who seems to be a good value at this point.
Yeah, I 701 for a, he's not a great player, but he's like solid, and he's the entrenched the starter on his team with a decent offensive line and a good defense to have him run with some leads in the fourth quarter. Like that seems pretty good for the seventh round. So I definitely like that. And I've said this a million times. So they've definitely heard of it. Like in the eighth round, I like to get Monangai or Corum.
Mm-hmm.
But given that we're right at the end of the eighth round, there's a chance that both of them are gone. So I like having a fourth running back here just in case we don't get one of those guys.
Yeah.
If one of them is there at 8-12, I will take them as the fifth running back. And then it's like, yeah, we can stop drafting running backs until the end, unless you really like someone,
Sure.
That's my strategy here. I just want to go running back early because it seems like there's just more depth with all the other positions, like a little less so with receivers compared to quarterbacks and tight ends. But there's so much depth with quarterbacks and tight ends. It's insane. Like you just wait on those guys. I don't get how people take them so early. Upstate Gardening asks, is Neighbors still broken? You're the Giants fan. Have you heard anything on Neighbors?
Haven't heard anything too much recently. I know like once we get to the preseason, we'll probably be hearing some more stuff. But I know it was a scary injury, that's for sure. Honestly, the one that I've been more worried about is the Scatabo one, just mostly because of what you talked about, like that reaction that everyone had at the during that game, and that was a little bit later into the season too. So they said, from what I remember, is that Neighbors was planning to be there week 1. So that's the most kind of news I've heard. I guess we'll see how that goes. I think that was like Sports Illustrated or something like that. So I don't know how reliable that might be, but I'll have to see what like the Giants beat reporters are saying and things like that.
Yeah. There's a lot of flimsy reporting out there. You got to be careful with who you listen to.
Oh,
what did you say?
Believe me.
yeah. No, seriously. So I heard that Neighbors had a second surgery, and from what I heard, I mean, like it could be something different. I don't know. I heard that he would start the year on the PUP list and would miss a handful of games to start the year. But I don't know. Like that's like a month ago, so I'm not sure like if things have changed. So that's why I ask you, like, has there have been anything new? But I guess we won't know until it starts. Like Neighbors won at 305 in this draft. I think that's crazy for like a guy who might not be on the field for the first month. You just get zero production from your third round pick. You just can't survive that.
And then when he comes back, you don't even know, like, is he going to be running 100%, or, right. That's another thing that I feel like people don't take into account for some of these plays.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, when receivers or running backs come back from torn ACLs, they tend to injure like another part of their legs, like remember when Saquon Barkley came back in, I think it was 2021, he got injured in some other sort of fashion. It was like a hamstring or something. I can't remember which part of the legs it was, but it was another injury that he had. And I think he was just like overcompensating for the prior injury. Mm-hmm. And so, it doesn't always happen. Like Adrian Peterson ran for 2,000 yards when he came back from the torn ACL. So like, he could be fine. But like there's added risk to it. And I always say that like, the players you draft, like some of them will get injured unless you're like the luckiest person in the world. Like you're going to have some injuries on your team. Like don't chase other injuries. Like don't start your roster with injuries because you're going to get more. Like start your roster healthy because you're going to get the injuries. That's how I approach it. But
yeah. Take the shots on those players like later on. Like if you see Neighbors slipping, then that's a good point. But 305, it's like, I mean, I can't. But look at all the players that are around that time. It's like these are players who are still healthy, still productive. A lot less of a question mark.
Yeah, I mean the receivers after him a lot. Well, Olave has the blood clot. Maybe he's fine, but then you have like Kabuka, Higgins, McConkey, DJ Moore. Not a Waddle fan, but you have Flowers, Wilson, Burden. Like these guys have a ton of upside and they're healthy. So. I would rather have those guys over Neighbors, and if Neighbors are healthy, that'd be another story. But like, but with the concern, I don't know. I think I would slot Neighbors like around. Like I like him more than Adams because Adams is 34 now,
Mhm.
And I think I like him more than Mike Evans. So he's probably like in the early 5th round for me right now.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not going to get him because just he's going so early. Like he
Yeah.
always goes 3rd round. It's ridiculous.
I'd probably take him in front of Waddle. I don't know if that's heresy to say, but
Sorry, what'd you say?
I think I would take him in front of Waddle. I've never I don't understand what was it Butters that came up with the Bermuda
Butters,
scheme? Well,
yeah,
that's the most
pyramid
perfect.
scheme, yeah.
That's the most perfect. Yes, that is perfect to explain Waddle. Like I know
I
he's
know.
on a different team with Bo Nix and everything, but
I know it's I don't get people just fall for it all the time, and he's going in the 4th round of every draft I've done. Like, have you not paid attention? Who just went? Purdy just went. Okay. Well, Corum is still here, right? So yeah, my pick is gonna be Corum. So according to ADP for the pick after is Jaden Reed, Patrick Mahomes, Kenneth Gainwell, Michael Pittman Jr., Josh Downs, Jonathan Brooks, Jackson Dart. There's that guy. That could be a good stack. Play Corum. I'm going to take him. Jared Goff, George Kittle, Ricky Pearsall, Wan'Dale Robinson, J.K. Dobbins, Xavier Worthy, Kyler Murray, Jacoby Myers, Rashad White, and I can keep going if you want. But okay, you're on the clock now.
Okay. Do you don't think Dart would come back to us? Do you?
He could. It's. I mean, if you really want him, you could take him. It's a little risky, but he could.
Yeah, I'm somewhere between Dart and Pittman at this point.
Let's just take Dart.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's do that. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So I like our 2 quarterbacks, Hurts and Dart. Feel like we have a lot of rushing upside there. And really it's a floor. I mean, if these guys are going to run, you know, you're going to get that every week. So I like Jackson Dart a lot. I think he's going too late. I think Hurts is going too late.
Mm-hmm.
So so do you so you said he liked the Giants wild card chances. Who do you think is going to take the division? Do you think it's still the Eagles?
I think at this point it's still the Eagles. Like they just have so much undeniable talent, and I think with AJ Brown leaving, like I don't know how much of a distraction that was in the locker room, but from everything I've heard, I even heard that there was like some personal issue between Hurts and Brown, and like they just could not get that resolved. And so, you know, I think if you kind of remove that element, you know, I mean, even this kind of, I don't know if this had any influence on the Giants when they won the Super Bowl, but they had Tiki Barber. And then people said in the locker room that Tiki was, not the best. And very next year they won the Super Bowl. So that kind of a thing too, I think is, something that I think is definitely worth considering. Like that AJ Brown, and it can just free up more targets and things like that. People thought that Stafford couldn't play without Calvin Johnson. And then that just freed him up to throw it to tons of other receivers that he had. He didn't have to hone in on one receiver the whole time. So,
yeah. I mean, I heard that as well, that Hurts and Brown didn't get along. And the year they won the Super Bowl was fine. Like all Brown did was read books on the sideline, but then once they started not winning as many games, then it got ugly and Brown dropped 3 passes in that wild card game against the Niners. Like he just looked so disinterested in the game. And you just can't have that. You can't have your top receiver dogging it. So it could be, I think it's good for both teams. I think addition by subtraction for the Eagles, I think they'll be better. And I think the Patriots will be better because they'll have a guy who's going to be trying hard, I would assume, with the best quarterback he's ever played with, throwing wise at least. And I think he's going to want to stick it to the Eagles, saying like, look, I wasn't the problem. So I love both situations this year. Now the Eagles offensive line, that's a different issue. Like that was the big problem last year. So if they can get that corrected, then I think that they can do some damage in the playoffs. NFL players shouldn't get massages.
Words of wisdom.
Yeah. Probably off not doing that. We were you mentioned the Ray Rice thing. Earlier that was that's something I talked about recently where it was like people knew about it, right? Like people knew about it and he was still going to play, but like once people saw the video, they're like, oh no, he can't play, and then he never played again. It's so weird, isn't it? Because you're told what happened, but like people have to see it to feel the outrage for some reason, which I just never understood.
Yeah. I find that way with a lot of, I mean, this is more like geopolitics and stuff, but like with the wars and things like that, you just hear about it. And then like, it has to be like, if there's photos or videos, then people are like, oh, like now And it's like, well, this is what's been happening all along, you know.
I know.
You know, so I didn't really need the photo and video to put it to it, but I mean, I guess it's just human psychology because I feel like it just adds more emotion, I guess, to it and things like that. But yeah, no, I agree with you. It's like we have the story, we know what happened, and I think they even had didn't they have like I think they had part of the elevator, just not the full like what happened in the elevator. Like they had him dragging her out, and it's like that's not good. Like you know,
no,
let's start from there, you know. And then we got the inside the elevator video. So
yeah, it was all pretty bad. Let me I'm gonna take Dallas Goedert to stick with our stack here.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna I started him, so you can decide. The best players available: Travis Kelce, Romeo Doubs, Baker Mayfield, Isaiah Likely, Khalil Shakir, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Casey Concepcion, Jordan Mason, Jake Ferguson, Malik Willis, Jaden Higgins, Mark Andrews, Tyron Tracy, Sam Darnold, Stephon Diggs, Chris Rodriguez, and you're officially on the clock right now.
Oh man, oof.
It gets rough here.
Yeah, I was like, oof, I don't know about all this. Man. All right. I might need some help on this one. But I'm somewhere like I'm looking at Dobbs and Shakir, you know, kind of bolstering that wide receiver core a little bit.
I starred Dobbs just in case we ran out of time.
Okay.
So I'm fine with that if that's what you want.
I think Dobbs is the one I was looking at right there, you know.
Okay.
Sorry to overlook Mr. I'm gonna have my wedding at MSG, Kelsey there.
well, you know, they have to it's in New York, so they have to make sure the temperature is 78 degrees.
Oh gosh.
The AC.
It's,
you know,
madness. Yeah. I unfortunately have to go to New York twice for friends' weddings this year, and I'm not looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the wedding. The wedding I know will be fun.
Yeah.
But man, going to New York is not something on my bucket list of to-dos.
I have never been to the state of New York. You may have heard me say that before, but I've never been there in my life.
You know, go once, but like you don't need to go. You know, just to say you did it. You know what I'm saying? But like, I know you and Tom have always talked about it about like people who do it on New Year's, and it's like that is like psych ward.
I know.
Oh my gosh, like man, because it has to be like 20, 30 degrees outside at that time, you know, right at the end of December, early January, and people are like, oh, this is so much fun. I have to stay up past midnight and with all these people around, and you know, oh man,
it sounds terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get how people do it. I mean, we talked about it before. I don't know. But, you know, I like saying that I've never been to New York because people are like, oh, really? How? Can't believe it. Like, why would I go? I don't even like downtown Philly. Like,
yeah,
I feel like New York is just a bigger version of that. So yeah, I don't know. Do you think Mamdani has his AC at 78 right now?
That's a good question. You know, it's funny because like I don't know. Yeah, New York's but like being libertarian, you're just like, hey, I don't know. It's not my state, but also my state, you know. It's Virginia, so I don't know if it's much better in here right now. You know, considering the person in charge is from the CIA, and that's all I needed to know about her. Quite literally, you know. But
it was Hamburger. Is that her name?
Hamburger, yep, former CIA,
of course.
So, but yeah. The less hope you have in politicians, the better. I've found it. The only one who's always been consistent is Ron Paul. So
that's true. That's true.
It's funny.
I wish he was younger so I could vote for him. You
know? I know. I was doing my 2009 Iran article, and there was this resolution about like they have the Green Revolution in Iran in 2009, right? And there was this bill, and it was like kind of saying like support for the protesters, that kind of thing. There was one person who voted no, and it was Ron Paul because he says we shouldn't get, you know, we don't know what's going on in that country. We shouldn't get entangled in that. And he's the only one who said no. And I was like, he's always just been so consistent, you know. So
that's awesome. You know, that's kind of like Al Davis. Remember when they voted in the NFL? He would always abstain. He would just never vote. It's cool to just stay strong to your principles.
Exactly.
I'm a big fan of that. It's you know, he's too old to be president. You can make him chairman of the Fed, and he would just dismantle the Fed.
Yeah, I mean, he's still doing like a daily show. With Daniel McAdams, and yeah, it's great stuff. I mean, he's still like super, and I think I want to say he's 90, about to turn 91, because I think he's an August birthday, I believe.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know he was on Timcast about a year ago or so, maybe a year and a half ago, and like I think they had to like travel to him because he couldn't really move around too much,
Yeah.
So it's a shame. But yeah, like I always rooted for him to get a lot of votes. Fortunately, it never happened. We run by idiots, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, his books about like school and about ending the Fed are just spectacular. They're so good.
Yeah, it's Federal Reserve. They're gonna raise rates, of course. Oh, if you were like, oh, Kevin Walsh is not gonna raise rates, Trump approved them. It's like it's not even his. It's not his call. Like if the board votes for it, they're gonna raise rates. It's like it has nothing to do with him.
Yep.
Anyway, so we're gonna go up here. So let me pull up the player board according to ADP. Someone told me not to draft Rashid Shaheed, so maybe you should listen to them. So it was Ben Wassley was on Tuesday, and he told me not to draft Shaheed.
Okay.
I liked Shaheed, but he made a good point. He's like maybe they just wanted to be a strict special teamer, which I could see that being the case. But it's like we need a receiver, and like who else is there right now? I do like Flournoy, and I'm going to take Flournoy. I don't think he's going to make it back to us, and I think that he could be a good player this year. So overall, this is your pick. We have Rashid Shaheed, C.J. Stroud, Jim McMillan, Woody Marks, Oronde Gadsden, Bryce Young, Amari Cooper, Juwan Johnson, Jalen Naylor, Juwan Jennings, Hunter Henry, etc. We have 15 seconds.
Oh man, this is ugly. All right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Let's go McMillan. Why not?
Okay.
Throw it at the dartboard,
Okay.
We'll see, especially with Evans going to the 49ers or anything like that.
Yeah, third receiver. We need a receiver on an offense that should have to do more this year because they lost Lavonte David, they lost Jamel Dean, and I think one other player. So their defense is not going to be as good. So they're going to have to score more. So yeah, I think that's a good pick here. I haven't drafted McMillan, but I kind of like the call here in round 13. So yeah, receivers, we have 5 receivers now. We have Devontae Smith, Jameson Williams, Romeo Doubs, Flournoy, Jalen McMillan. So it's not bad. Maybe I'll take a Shaheed if he comes back.
Nice.
But I don't know. Yeah. Oh, Kenny, $1 super chat. Kenny, how's it going? I felt bad. I was supposed to have a meeting with Kenny and someone else. And I didn't see that Kenny said yes to it. And I assumed Kenny was still traveling. And I'm like, oh, Kenny never responded. So let's push the meeting back. And then like I went to the grocery store. I didn't check my phone for like an hour. And then I look at my emails. Like Kenny's like, oh, is the meeting not happening? Like, I'm an idiot here. Yeah. Okay. There goes Shaheed at 1309. Kenny, what do you think about Shaheed? Because I liked him, but Ben Wassley was like, no, don't do it. So I'm having second thoughts now.
Was there like a theory that he had behind it of like why he didn't like him?
Yeah, because he thought that they just traded him and they want him to be just a pure special teamer, and like with Torrey Horton coming back, like he thought they would use Horton more as the deep threat as opposed to Shaheed, and then Cooper Kupp would continue to be like the third tertiary guy, where obviously you have Jackson Smith-Njigba, and they utilize 2 tight ends also, so like where's Shaheed going to factor in? I thought he made a good point, and like. It's weird because Shaheed was so productive in New Orleans, but maybe out of necessity because they had no one else besides Olave. But Seahawks have more,
Yeah, maybe like a Percy Harvin kind of deal because I feel like that's kind of like the role he kind of went into.
Yeah, and he is the president of the Torrey Horton fan club. That's definitely true. Maybe I'll take Horton on the way back. I think he's still available. I think. I mean, I have to search, but I didn't see him go. Yeah, he's still there. But his ADP is 224, so we can wait a while for that one.
While Kenny's here, so when I've been doing my research from articles and things like that, I have to go like Internet Archive a lot to go like, to see the page from this news agency in Kyrgyzstan in March 2005, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there was a way that I could go back and find that Mike McCarthy rant,
no.
If I could somehow find that, because that was one of the funniest things I've seen on the internet. Oh my gosh,
I was laughing so hard, and I'm so upset that we don't have that anymore. And I try to coax it out of Kenny, like I'll mention Mike McCarthy, and it's just you can't force it. Like, it has to be natural,
Exactly. Stream of thought, like
Right.
it's like you're doing Curb Your Enthusiasm, just let it whatever comes to your mind, just say it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. So, yeah, hopefully, we could spark it out of Kenny at some point. But he's going to be able to see McCarthy in action. Like,
Mhm.
and the Steelers have never had a losing season. Well, they haven't had a losing season since like the aughts. So
Mhm.
we'll see McCarthy screw it up. And then maybe then, and we'll have to get Kenny to, Kenny's not a better. We'll have to make him bet $1 on the Steelers every week, and so like he'll have to feel the pain of the dollar loss, and then he'll be mad enough to have that rant again. So
Yeah.
that's my hope.
I think this is the year for the Steelers, unfortunately. Like, I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan, but man, like what last year the wheels were kind of going off already, and then have Mike McCarthy back there instead of Mike
Yeah.
Tomlin. Ooh, yeah, this ain't gonna be looking too good.
Yeah, that's I like what Kenny said. The Steelers made a DEI hire. They hired a retarded person. All right. I'm gonna put the top ADP on the board for you here. We're up in one pick. I think I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take this Deshaun Stribling. And so you get this side. I'm not going to submit the pick, but I have him start. So,
Okay.
Kenyon Sadiq, Malik Washington, Alvin Kamara, Jacoby Brissett, Jonah Coleman, Fernando Mendoza, Isaac Tesla, Dalton Schultz, Greg Dulcich, Adonai Mitchell, Brian Robinson Jr., Tank Bigsby, Debo Samuel, Trey Harris, Geno Smith, Gunnar Helm, they're Stribling, Jerry Jeudy, AJ Barner, Sean Tucker, Kate Otten. You're now on the clock. Did you see anyone you liked?
Oof. Let's do. This is gonna be so. Ooh. Okay. I'm thinking Tesla. I think I'm Tesla.
Okay.
Like, I feel like we've seen sparks from him.
Yeah.
I was kind of looking at some of these players, and I was thinking like my other one was Judy, and I'm like, nah, we can't. He's just so unreliable. He'll have like that monster. Who I can't remember. Were they playing Cleveland? No, they were Cleveland. They're playing the Broncos, maybe.
The Broncos, yeah. The Monday night game, yeah.
But it's like, man, that comes like once every blue moon. So we're like Tesla is someone who seems like he could actually, be something in the NFL.
Yeah. Totally. So I like his upside for sure. And I said this on Tuesday, I think, to Ben. I listen to like random fantasy shows, and so someone was like, it was like the title of the show was like five must draft players for 2026. I'm like, okay, well, cool. What's this? And the guy's like, my number one must draft player is Jerry Jeudy. I'm like,
oh gosh,
what year do you think this is?
Right.
If this is like, I was like, I checked. I was like, wait, was this 3 years ago? I'm like, I can understand that.
That was from this year.
It's this year. It's published like a month ago. Yeah,
that is insanity. Oh my god.
Yeah, like first of all, the Browns had no quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Second, Jeudy just doesn't do anything except drop passes. He dropped a pass. I've been writing a book. It's called "You're the Bad Beat." So I rewatched Browns Bengals for week 1. And that was a game where the Browns lost 17-16, but they outgained the Bengals by like 250 yards. And I had the money line. I got the spread right, but I also had the money line. I lost. And in that game, Flacco threw 2 interceptions, but both interceptions bounced off the hands of his receivers and into the hands of the Bengals receivers, Bengal cornerbacks. Mm-hmm. And one of those was from Jerry Jeudy. And so I had just watched that video and I saw that play. I'm like, you really want to draft this guy? That's
right.
Who you want here.
This the guy you want, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like one thing if you have like one bad play like that. Like, I mean, even Julio Jones had that one, I think, against Seattle, where he's just like right there in the end zone, like no one around him, and he dropped it. But like, what has Jeudy shown you outside of like those random blips that come on a Thursday night football game in November? It's like, I don't see it at all.
I'm like, you know what? I didn't look at this. I didn't look at our picks. We got Horton instead of Stribling. You know what happened was, when Kenny said, fan of the Horton fan club, I'm the president of the fan club, I starred him because I wanted to draft him later. But then I starred Stribling, and I let the time run out, and I forgot that I starred Horton before. So I had Horton as the priority before Stribling. So I guess I'm the honorary.
You revoked his. You're not the president.
I know. I'm the president of the fan club, Kenny. What do you think about that? That's funny. Yeah, I was like, because Stribling went. I'm like, wait, I thought we had Stribling. It was like I had a draft once where you may have heard the story. There's a guy, we did this live. Some guy was so drunk, and he drafted Lance Moore, and so we decided to take a beer, like we had a beer run, and so we took a break, and someone's like, "Hey, we'll distract this guy, Dave. We're gonna delete Lance Moore and see if he notices." So we deleted Lance Moore from his roster, and so his pick comes around once we're drafting again, and he's like, "Well, is Lance Moore still available?" I'm like, I was about to lose it. I was like, "No." I was like, "Yeah, he is, I guess." And then he's like, "I'll take Lance Moore," like all drunkenly, and everyone just erupted in laughter. It's so funny. He just forgot he drafted him.
Man, I love the live drafts. Those were so much fun. I guess it is COVID just ruined it all, you know.
Yeah, we used to have so many live drafts. And yeah, it was COVID. I mean, it's a lot of my leagues folded. I had 2 leagues that I was in for a long time, and they just folded. Like it sucks, you know. All right, so I'm gonna put the top players available on the board. I'm going to take. We need a second tight end, so I'm going to take Cade Otton here. So the top players available according to ADP are Sean Tucker, Tank Dell, Braylon Allen, Tua, Dontavian Wicks, Emmett Johnson, Ray Davis, David Njoku, Cooper Kupp, Pat Fryermuth, Brandon Ayuk, Katron Allen, Colby Parkinson, Marshawn Lloyd, Ted Hurst, Christian Kirk, Keishon Butte, and now you're on the clock. So do you like anyone here?
Who are these people? Oh my gosh. Okay. So Wicks is kind of how many we have 5 receivers?
Yeah.
Right?
We have 7 receivers.
Okay, so we got a lot of receivers, so maybe like a running back then.
Okay, let's see Braylon Allen then.
I was thinking of that, like maybe a handcuff, or because I feel like he's one of the backups who actually does get work regardless, you know.
Yeah, he was hurt last year, but like heading into the year, all we heard is like, "Oh, the Jets love Braylon Allen." That was, it's one of those flimsy reports you hear that like you're not sure if it's true, and Kenny and I have talked about that a lot.
Yeah.
Horton over Stribling. Yeah, I guess we made the right decision, but we could have gotten both. Horton would have made it back to us. His ADP is like 200 something, so why not both? As he had that meme. What's up, you guys? Ripping another draft after this? No, I mean this is going to take like about an hour. I think what are we at 52 minutes? So it would be too long. But I'll do another draft tomorrow night if Tom is on, and then next week we're going to do more drafts Tuesday and Thursday, of course. I'm sure. So yeah, we could do that then. But yeah, after we do this draft, we'll BS a little bit about like some TV shows we're watching or stocks. I wanted to show Patrick here the inverse leveraged ETFs, which are pretty crazy. Like I've been buying options in those for about a month, maybe a little bit more than a month now, I think. And some of them have just like gone insane, like percentage wise. And it makes sense because like they have to go down. Like it just makes so much sense for them not to, unless like the underlying stock has to like skyrocket for you to lose money in them. So I will show you that. And I don't know, could be life changing. Of course, we have the inside info for the bio stocks. Unfortunately, this latest one didn't do so well. But yeah, we've done that as well. Did you hold on to that? Do you still have that? Are you on CY?
Yeah, I kind of took a loss on that one. I sold some on whatever the day was before. So maybe it was even Friday or Monday. I can't remember what day it was. So I got out a little bit, but ended up with a loss overall. But I did do really well on the one before, the MNKD, I think it was.
Yeah, the Mankind.
It went from like 280 to like 420 some, and I sold there, and then it dropped back down to like low 3s, bought again there, and then sold again. So that one did really well. Awesome. But yeah, no, I have like a Fidelity portfolio where it's just like that's like it's literally like maybe like 5% of my total. That I just do fund trades in there. The rest is like my Roth and like my general ETFs, because those are just always going up, and then if there's ever a dip like last April when they had like the Liberation Day tariff thing. Right. I just flooded my Roth with more money, and it worked out really good that time because the market tanked hard on that. So
that's awesome. Yeah, trading your Roth, you don't have to pay taxes on it.
Yep.
Which we both are very opposed to taxes.
Absolutely.
Uh, it's such a scam. I was talking to my ad team today about like payroll taxes, and it's so brutal. Like even if we make zero revenue, I have to pay at least $2,000 a month to the federal government on payroll taxes. Our revenue could be zero or it could be $1 million. It would still be $2,000 a month, and more so if I have more employees or if I pay my employees more. It's just it's like, okay, like you got like if I make no revenue, how do I pay you guys? It just doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense.
Well, I blame Wilson, but also blame Lincoln because Lincoln was the one who first came up with the idea. It wasn't really implemented to Wilson, but man.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that. Really?
Yeah. So that's like the lineage goes back there, but it was Wilson who, of course, put that into motion in World War One and just everything horrible that you can imagine.
Yeah, I mean, we had a revolution over 3% tax, like
Yeah.
now we're paying like 40%. It's great. Okay, so we're looking at our roster. We have 2 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends. That's an issue, and both our tight ends have week 10 buys, so it's not ideal. So yeah, start paying attention to that. That's my
That's hard to keep track of all those,
I know. Yeah, I mean, especially if you're talking. That's like if you're doing this like on your own, like it's easy to keep track of, but like when you're talking, it's much tougher. So, unfortunately, there's like really no quarterbacks to take. Like, do you want to take like Michael Penix or Deshaun Watson? Like, I feel like we're just better off not drafting a third quarterback.
Yeah.
So I'll take the tight end, unless you like someone here. And this is I already started my guy, Parkinson.
Yeah.
Okay, so outside of Parkinson, the best players according to ADP are Kayshon Boutte, Mike Washington, Kamani Vidal, Eli Stowers, George Holani, Malachi Fields, Troy Franklin, Shedeur Sanders, Darnell Mooney, Damon Claiborne, Kirk Cousins, Emmanuel Wilson, James here, Michael Penix, Thornton, Bryant Black, P. Ryan Hunts, and you're up now. And on Tuesday's show, Ben like Fields a lot, and I'm curious to hear your opinion on him, if you, or unless you don't want him.
Yeah, you know what? I think we were talking some smack about Neighbors earlier. We don't necessarily know his status, so I think Fields could be a good one to go with.
Okay, all right, we'll do that. So we have eight receivers. We got a third tight end, so really we could do anything with the last pick, except for I don't want a fourth tight end, but
yeah,
well, it's my pick anyway. So, all right. So Jordan James just went. I like drafting the Niner players around this range, but yeah, like I said, we needed the third tight end. So, and really, I think we're good with running backs. Like our running backs are really stout. Like we have Bijan, Breece Hall, Scatterbo to start. That's really strong. And then we have Hubbard and Corum. Like Corum's great upside. Like Hubbard, these are two are opposites. Like Corum has high upside. Hubbard has like a very high floor. And then and they have Allen, who he could take over for Breece Hall if he gets hurt. So we're kind of set there with the Jet running back. And I think that I don't think like, I mean, that's it's the same place as your team. Like I don't think the Jets are as bad as people think they will be this year. I've seen like power rankings are like 32 Dolphins, 31 Jets. I'm like the Jets, like they're not good, but I don't like they have some good veterans. Like they added Minkah Fitzpatrick and T'Vondre Sweat and Demario Davis. Demario Davis, like the Saints linebacker. And they still have some other good players there, and they have Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, 2 really good tackles who are young. They have a great guard and Tippmann, and I think that like they have like an okay team. I think they could be competitive. So, so I think the Jets players are just being underrated.
Yeah.
But then again, like if Geno Smith is suspended, then you have Klubnik, and all bets are off that.
Or all bets are on, because then you can bet against them.
That's true. My wish. I want Brady Cook to play.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
He was. Were you on that train last year, or just like fading him every week?
Oh yeah, and it was the best one. Like when you have just crummy quarterback play, it's just great. When we only had one opportunity for it, but when the quarterback from my alma mater, Ben DiNucci from JMU, played for the Cowboys against the Eagles a few years back. That was great. Oh, I love that.
I remember that game. Yeah. Yeah. Anytime you get a crappy quarterback on a crappy team,
Mm-hmm.
like fade the hell out of them because you're going to make a lot of money. Brady Cook did not cover the spread. I think it was like Quinn Ewers at the end. I think
Mm.
Ewers covered the spread once, but like I think it was like 1-3. And I mentioned last night when Spencer Rattler was quarterbacking the Saints. If you would just bet against Rattler blindly every game, you would have been 6-2 against the spread, and
That's
that's
crazy.
75%. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like that's you know people are happy with 57%.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're
Mm-hmm.
75%. Like that's crazy. And it's like crummy team, crummy quarterback,
Yep.
just fade. Like it sounds so simple, but it just doesn't feel like the sports books are adjusting enough to it. Like they're moving the line like 4, 5, 6 points when it really should be like 2 touchdowns because these guys are so bad.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then the Saints stabilized when Shuck took over because he actually has talent. Like Rattler is just so bad, so they really had no chance. So I'm hoping that he can start, even though I have a future on the Saints. I'm hoping he can start in a couple games. I'm always rooting for these terrible quarterbacks to start. So
Just for some fun, Come on now.
I know, exactly. These coaches are so selfish trying to win.
Right?
How dare they? All right. Oh, I don't want to jinx it, but there's one guy I really like who's still here. I don't want to say it. I don't want like the football gods to take him away from me. We'll see. Okay, he's not. That's not Thornton. Definitely not Thornton. It's a running back, and we only have 6, so we could definitely use one. And anyone who's listening to my drafts knows who might know who this is. But I still won't say it because I don't want to jinx it. So fingers crossed. He's okay. It's not Pat Bryant. And it would be weird if this guy took. Okay, yeah, there you go. It's Kalen
Nice.
Black. Who, I've been saying, I want a San Francisco running back late in the draft. I don't know if it's going to be Jordan James. I don't know if it's going to be Kalen Black and maybe Garendo, but Garendo's hurt, so I think it's between these two. Like when it's not if, like when McCaffrey goes down, like one of these guys will take over. So I've been like alternating Black James in my drafts, just to like capture that upside at the end. And it's not like you have to spend a premium pick. It's not like a 10th or 11th round pick. It's an 18th, 19th, 20th round pick. So why not try to get like the ultimate handcuff there? So that's what I want to do. And usually like Kyle Shanahan doesn't like to split the workload. He likes to just hand the ball to like one guy. So I like I said, I don't know who it's going to be, but I just don't know. I'm ready to draft. Well, I mean, we're close to midnight here. So thoughts on late round Bengals, Yoshivas and Gesicki. I've been hearing that that the Bengals were looking at what's his name? The young guy that they just drafted. It's name's slipping. It's right. It's Kobe Young. Their 4th round pick. I'm hearing that he has been looking good, but then again, this could be off-season nonsense that you get from beat reporters. So I don't know. I like Yoshivas is like 20th round. That's where did he get even drafted here? Let's see. Yoshivas. Yeah, to 2003. Okay, you want to take him 20th, 19th round? That's fine. Like if Higgins or Chase goes down, like you're gonna have a good player. If neither goes down, then you're probably just gonna get zeros from this guy. But it's the 20th round, and I'm gonna echo something that Mike Lucine says. Like he says that in the 20th round, you should probably draft someone who isn't normally drafted, because if this team makes the playoffs and this guy is actually doing things, then you're gonna have major leverage over the field in the playoffs because you're gonna have someone that no one else has. And that could give you a big edge. So, like, I don't know what Yoshivas's ADP is. It does not say it here. But if it's at or around 240, which is the last pick, then you could definitely target him in the 20th round. It's actually like pretty decent. Gesicki's reliant on Higgins. They play the same spot. So like when Higgins goes down, Gesicki just goes nuts. Like just check the game logs. Like whenever you see Higgins get injured, like Gesicki goes crazy. Without Higgins being injured, like I think he's just okay. Like I feel like 17th round is probably where he should go. I've seen him drafted later. Like I've gotten him in like the 19th round before, and I think that's okay value. 17th round, like I said, that's probably the right area for him. So, but yeah, Jay Shambo. Well, I'll be doing a draft tomorrow night with Tom, kind of like in the background while we're talking. So if you want to hop on, then I'll be on, and then we'll be doing drafts on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday next week as well. So. There'll be plenty of times to draft. So Patrick, how do you think we did with this team? I'll read it off for those of you who joined in late. We wanted Bijan, our running backs. So Bijan, Brees Hall, Cam Scatabo, Chuba Hubbard, Blake Corum, and then Braylon Allen and Kalen Black as sleepers later on. Our receivers are Devontae Smith, Jameson Williams at the top. Then we took a break and we drafted a bunch here. Romeo Doubs, Ryan Flournoy, Jalen McMillan, Torrey Horton by accident, but Kenny says it's the right move. Isaac Tesla for upside, and then Malachi Fields for even more upside. Quarterbacks are only two. You know, I like three usually, but I think we have two really good ones in Hurts and Dart. And then tight end Goddard to pair with Hurts. And we took Otten by accident because they're the same buy, but what are you going to do? And then Kobe Parkinson, I think it's kind of like a higher floor third tight end. So how do you think we did, Patrick, with this draft?
Yeah, I mean, I think it turned out good. Especially, I like that first like 5 rounds. Looking at those right there, like I feel like all of them were either like I wouldn't say steals because very early in the draft, but ones that like Smith right at the end of the second, Hall right at the third, especially Scatabo right at the end of the fourth. I thought was awesome to see him there.
Yeah.
And then I really like how he paired up Hurts with Goddard. And even though they have the same bye week, I think Otten's a really solid tight end as well. And then having a lot of good, like high upside kind of players, as we went along with the draft there, looking at Flournoy and looking at Dobbs and things like that. Hubbard's always been like, nothing great, but like a solid running back who, can give you good production, week in, week out. I feel like overall it's shaped out to be a pretty good team. Looking at some of the other teams, I think we're competitive here.
Yeah, I think so too. I like how we stacked. Like you mentioned, Hurts with Goddard. We also had Devontae Smith, and then we stacked the Giants. We have Jackson Dart with Scatabo and Malachi Fields. I wanted Likely, but he I think he won the 12th round. Where'd he go? He won 11th round. I was thinking like if he went to 12-12, I thought that would be a good player to take to pair with Jackson Dart. Unfortunately, he didn't get there, but it's okay. I think we stacked it pretty well. So I think this team has some good potential. I like it. So hopefully we do well with this team, but we'll see. Speaking of doing well, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of stock things. First of all, I mentioned to you that I use Anti-Gravity, which is an AI agent to make an app. I didn't even know it was going to make an app for me. It just made an app for me about like it looks for head and shoulder patterns in the stock market. And head and shoulder patterns, for those not familiar, it's like the most reliable stock pattern. It hits at like 83%. And so I've been looking for that. And so this on the daily or kind of like this, it goes back to January. This updates every day. I don't know if you can see on the screen, right? So the patterns, right? And then like it shows me. So like with NVIDIA here, it shows left shoulder here, then the head, and then the shoulder, and then it shows like target price, the neckline. It's like says whereas the target price is 164.63. Right now it's at 194. But when the shoulder hit, it was like what was it, 212, 209, between 209 and 212. So it's definitely like if you bought puts on that, you're definitely up. Like I've done that via a certain manner. I'll show you that in a second. So I think this is really cool. And like I said, this list updates every day. Like it shows even the SPY. It shows like the SPYs and the head and shoulders. So we could have a downside next week. And usually like people are on vacation anyway, like during July 4th. So you see like slowing down. QQQ, same thing as a head and shoulders pattern. So we can see the market kind of break down soon. And for those following the market, like we've seen the AI stocks just like plummet. So maybe that's kind of like that goes in tandem with that. You have like Tesla here, another head and shoulder pattern. Tesla plummeted today, which was like you mentioned, like the earnings. They had a pseudo earnings sort of deal where like they announced the car deliveries, and they beat expectations, but they plummeted. So
Yep.
that's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
The sell the by the or was it sell the news kind of thing. I took that
Yeah,
as because yeah,
yeah,
it's like well, it had that run up, throughout the week, and then like today when it had actually good results, it tanked on down.
yeah, exactly. It's the institutions using the plebes as market liquidity.
Mhm.
That's all it is.
Mhm.
This also shows inverse head and shoulders. It had Visa. Like, look what happened to Visa. So they had inverse head and shoulders dating back all the way to January. They had the left shoulder, they had the head, and then the right shoulder. And ever since this right shoulder, which was 319, it has soared. Look at this. It's gone to 362. So like this has been awesome. I'm like, this is incredible, like stuff, like not everything hits, but like I said, 83% hit rate usually with the head and shoulder patterns. Like I think this has been incredible. So like anti-gravity, it's free to download. If you do a lot with it, it's say like, oh, you've used a certain amount of memory, you have to pay like it's only like $20 a month or something. So
Mhm.
it's definitely worth it for me. Like this has been awesome. And then today I was like, because yesterday I saw like SMCI had like obvious head and shoulder pattern on the intraday chart, and I'm like, how do I capture that? So I had it build this for me. This is new. This is just built today. That it finds if it like I asked it to look at the S&P 500 and look at all the stocks and report head and shoulder patterns to me. And so it built this list and it updates live like every 30 seconds or 60 seconds. It'll like blink. It'll go like beep, beep, beep. Like, and my son who's like playing video, he's like, Daddy, what video game are you playing? I'm like, I'm playing a video game. And like, so it updates these. Like, some of them look a little flimsy, but like yeah, here Palantir had left shoulder, and then it plummeted at the end. So if you caught that, you were doing well. So some of these were like late in the day, so it's like you can't really trade at the end of the day. But
Right.
MicroStrategy, I think there was some good ones. Yeah, like JP Morgan was left shoulder, had left shoulder, and then it just dropped a lot. Now it did rebound, but like you could still have made money here, if you sold there. But yeah, this XOM, I think. Yeah, so yeah, see, left shoulder was 137, head was 137.41, right shoulder 137.18, and it went all the way down to 135, I think, or low 136s. So if you bought puts on that, you would have made money. So just I'm showing you guys because like you can just download Anti-Gravity and ask it to build this for you, and it's $20 a month, but it's so good. Here's another one. CMG. You have left shoulder here, right head, right shoulder, and then it plummeted. It went from well, I wouldn't say plummeted. It dropped like 40 cents, but still, he's still making money there. So yeah, usually what'd you say?
At the top right there where it has the options trading advisory, is that like the one that they generate for you, like what target to have for like certain strikes and things like that?
Wait, yeah, it says it's the recommendations. It
Nice.
says buy $35 put, trigger below 35.38, target 35.22, stop loss 35.75, and then projected move negative 0.5, well, 5%, I guess, 0.5%. So yeah, it does that for you too. So
Nice.
it's crazy, and you could keep asking like, hey, can you add this and this and this? Like it'll do it. It's awesome. So that's that. I think like I thought you guys would have like get a kick out of that, and like I said, you could just get this yourself. So yeah, and it builds it so quickly. It takes like 5 minutes at most for it to build this. And it just operates in the background. So yeah, definitely like that. And then I told you that I bought puts on Nvidia because of the head and shoulder patterns, but it wasn't really puts on Nvidia. It was a put on the leveraged ETF for Nvidia, which was NVDG. I want to say, I think NVDG. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the leverage ETF. It's 2x. And so I bought, I think it was like up here 1681, and now it's like 1606. But the thing I wanted to point to you, have you seen SOXS or like some of these other ones?
Yeah, I've seen it in passing. Yeah, like 3 times ETF is insane.
Yeah. It's not showing the chart
I
here.
I did like one trade on these ones, and I did like MSTU,
Mhm.
and man, that thing went down like
Yes. Yes, exactly. All right, well, let's look at MSTU because that's perfect. That was the Steve recommendation, right?
yeah, that was like back in the fall last year, I think it
Yep.
was.
Yep. I did it too. And that's how I learned about all of these scams. So
Mhm.
look at this beautiful chart. This is 1 year. A year ago, around this time, let's actually look at a year. July 2nd. Oh, it's right at the beginning. 84.60. It's now 215, right?
Crazy.
Um that's see how do you trade off of that, right? You just can't. But let's look at like 1 month. So it was 395 to start, or 380, and you could this is the MicroStrategy ETF. So MicroStrategy was not I think this is perfect, like a perfect example of how bad this is. So MicroStrategy is now $100 a share, about 177. It really hasn't oh, sorry, hold on. So okay, so it was 126. Yeah, I was looking at, so it was 126, and now it's 100. And then if you go back to MSTU for 1 month, it's lost it was four, it was about almost four, and now it's 215. So it lost 50% of its value. Um and if you go back to MicroStrategy, 126 to 100, that's not 50% of its value. That's what 20 out of 120 is it's 1/6 of it. It's like one yeah, so minus 20%. It's down 20%, but here it's down 43%. So that's what happens with these 2x ETFs, is because if you think about it, if a stock drops 10%, it goes up 10%. If it starts at 100, and then if it drops to 10%, it's 90. But if it goes up 10%, it's like at 99. But if
Mhm.
like a 2x or 3x, it's not going to be at 99 anymore. It's going to be lower. And
Mhm.
so these, if this just like fluctuates like normal, these things go to zero eventually. And that's why I wanted to show you with like SOXS here, um, where this chart is really amazing.
This is the
Um,
overall S&P, right?
the what?
This is the overall like S&P.
The SOXS is the semiconductor bear 3x.
Okay.
Um, okay, so this right here is the chart. Um, in 20 August of 2010, this was worth 4.2 billion dollars, and now it is at $4.51. So if you put $4 billion into this, you would only have $4 left over. Um, back then, and
I wonder
and
if
you,
there's one person who's done
I know, right?
that.
It'll
I would
bounce
love to see
back. I
that.
swear, it'll bounce
It's,
back.
it's gonna come back. You have
I
no
know,
idea.
yeah. Diamond hands there. Uh,
My covered calls are going crazy right now.
yeah. Even still, in 2015, it was 72.8 million. In 2020, it was 540,000. In 2025, it was $449. It just keeps going down. And everyone I show this, do you want to guess the reaction I get when I show this to anyone?
Did I think it's like a scam or something, or?
No, they're like, "Do you think this is going to go back up?" I'm like, "No, it's going to keep
No,
going down." and
no.
it's like,
We have a decade right there.
yeah, and people are like, how can it keep going down? Well, they have reverse splits. Like the stock
Mhm.
was never obvious. It was never $4.2 billion. It was just like reverse split after reverse split after reverse split. 10 for like 1 for 10, 1 for 10, 1 for 10. It like it's I don't know how many they've had, but they must have. It must be like like 1 for 1 billion by now. Like
Mhm.
really,
Mhm.
or maybe 1 for 100 million probably. I think that's probably true, but yeah, so they've already planned a reverse split. It's going to happen in a week or two, I think. So it's going to go back up to like 44, but not really. It's just from the 1 to 10 reverse split,
Yeah.
and that's just going to dive down again. It's just going to keep going down because unless like semiconductors disappear for like forever, like
Mhm.
then they won't. This will just keep dropping. And so you have to like you can pick your spots. Like today it was up 16%. But a month ago, let's go to a month ago. It was about $7. It was above $7 here. And so, you're going to be up the past month about like 50%. Like just buying puts on this. And so I think this is just like, and a lot of the S&P 500 stocks, they have their own inverse ETF. Now, granted, it's not 3x; it's usually like 2x. Like MSTU, like, same thing. They have it's the 2x here, and if you look at the 6 month, it's it's like $10, $11 all the way down to $2. And so if you bought puts on this, and if you're short, if you want to be short MicroStrategy, you can always buy puts on MicroStrategy, but those puts are expensive. They cost a lot of money. Like here, they're pretty cheap, and you don't have to spend a lot of money on them. And so, and also these are guaranteed to go down eventually. Like, if MicroStrategy goes up, it'll go up too, but eventually it will go down. And so it's kind of like the safe way of trading that way. Like obviously, like nothing's 100%, but that's the preferred way. I'm doing it right now. And like MicroStrategy, when it was about a month ago, I think it was like 140 a share. I bought puts on not this one, but MSTX is the same thing. It just looked, I don't know, it just looked better. So it was 90. A month ago, it was actually, it was more than a month ago. It probably was 3. Yeah, I bought puts like up here. It was like 32, and now it's 983. And just the way it's going to drop 2x. So if you're bearish on a stock, like just buy puts on the 2x. But like, and you'd be like, oh, why don't you buy calls on the 2x, the short, but like it's the same thing as I said. Like it's not going to go up that much. Like if MicroStrategy drops 50%. But the 2x put, the 2x short is like at $2. It's not going to move up that much because like 50% of $2, it's up to 3. Like congrats, like go from 2 to 3. But like here, you can take it from 40 to 10, which is crazy. So that's what I've been doing as a whole, is to buy puts on these leveraged ETFs. Try to pick a direction where I think it's going to go, and I'm using the head and shoulder patterns to kind of help me guide like which ones I'm buying. So that's what I've been doing. So any thoughts on this?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the 3 times bear is insane. So that's definitely one I'll be looking at too. And like I feel like one that's been helping me is like Grok's been really helpful for like when I'm doing like one of the things I try to do sometimes is if I get bored, I'll do like the 1 day away. So I'll do like a Thursday trading, like afternoon for like a Friday options, but only if it's like 1 to 3% off of Max Pain.
Yeah.
So like if I was watching GameStop today, because I saw it and I was like, I think I could short GameStop a little bit because the Max Pain was like 21.50, but it was like too far outside of that range, and I was like, But Grok can give you like the level 2s, the gamma, the whale buys, like if any whale, purchase some shares and things like that. But yeah, definitely like now I know about that 3 times bear on semiconductors. Yeah, right. Like that's a great way to go about it.
Yeah, there are more of them. Hold on, I have to get this ticker. There are more of these. I think it's and then there's another one I wanted to show you as well. Let me just get it real fast. It is I scrolled by it. Damn it. Where is this? Of course, like I can't find it now. Okay, Tech S. That's what it is. Tech S. So it's 3x bears technology. So you would think technology would just get better, right? Like who wants to be short technology? So let's look at the all chart here and look at this. It was 31 million in 2009, so it's not quite the drop off from 4 billion, but it's still a great one. And now it's down to 714. 6 months ago, it was peaking at 24. A month ago, it was about $8. Now it did valley at like 6. Now it's back to 719 because this went up because the semiconductors dropped, like the AI companies dropped, so it bounced a little bit. But I feel like it's just like a good buying opportunity, or like buy put opportunity. Like anytime this goes up, like it's going to go down eventually. If the semiconductors have a great day, or technology, whatever, has a great day, like this will plummet, because it's 3x. And and once it drops, it's just never going to recover. If you just do the math, just think about it that way. Like I said before, you have $100 stock and it drops by 10%. That's nine. It's nine. It's what, $90, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a 3x leverage stock and it drops 30%, like that's $70, right? Because 10% plus 10%, 10%, it just drops 30% off the 100 to 70. Let's say it recovers 10%. So like I said before, the 90 is going to go back to 99. So not quite 100, but still, it's still manageable. But the one that's $70, if it goes up 30%, that's $21. So it's going to go back to 91. So it's so on just 2 trading days, it's down $9, 9% from where it was. Even though we had equilibrium with 10% up, 10% or 10% down, 10% up, it's still down 9%. So that's why these plummet. Just because, like, yeah, okay, if technology craters, let's say like an EMP goes off and there's no technology anymore, yeah, this is skyrocket, right? But like if we just keep advancing with new technology, this will do the same thing as SOXX. Reverse split, et cetera, like each 6 months you're gonna have new reverse splits. And you know, this in a couple of years from now, this will still be $7, but it'll be after like 3 more reverse splits. And so you're just going to keep making money that way. So this is another one. And then UVXY, I'm not sure. This is another leverage one. I'm not sure if it's 3X though, but this is another one. This is short the VIX. And so if you look at all, this is this one's even, this is 260 billion. It actually opened 607 billion. If you had a put on this, you would be worth, if you carried your put, if you kept rolling it, you would be worth $60 trillion. You would be 60 times richer than Elon Musk. So I'm like, why am I not buying puts on these and keep rolling them? You know, like, I'm gonna just do it. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna day trade with the head and shoulder pattern, and I'm going to just buy puts on these. I think they're scams because like I don't. You're on StockTwits and on like if you go to like the SOXS channel or the UVXY channel, people are like, I have 1,000 shares of this. This is going to go up. I'm like, I don't respond. I'm like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, even like on like I don't know. I don't know if like E-Trade doesn't do this, but if you look at these tickers on Coinbase, for example, it'll have like a huge red warning. It'll be like, this is very very dangerous. Do not buy this. This is only for day trading.
That's hilarious. That's so funny.
I know. It's insane. So I'm gonna see how it goes. We're gonna buy puts on these and keep rolling them and see what happens.
I'll say how far out do you buy puts on them?
I do it each month and I just roll it. I like, you could do it weekly on XOSS. I just do it like the 3rd Friday of each month. So my puts right now are for July 17th. So once the week of the 13th comes around, I will either, I don't like rolling because like sometimes you don't get the best price. I'll just sell and then I'll just rebuy for like August, whatever it will be. I think August 6th, I think it's a Thursday this year. So August 21st it would be. So that's I'll just do it that way. Yeah,
I'm on it.
Yeah. So hopefully it pans out. I don't see why it wouldn't. Like these leverage ETFs have to go to zero. In fact, like I asked ChatGPT, I'm like, what would happen if you bought puts on the bear and the bull leverage ETFs? And it was like, well, it's like it could be risky because of the delta and stuff like that. Well, I'm like, what if the delta is close to 1, and delta being like not out of the money, but in the money, so it's like closer to what the purchase is. And it was like, yes, this is probably a good strategy because one of them will at least go to zero, and then the other one will go to zero eventually. You know what I did was with MicroStrategy. I bought it was not MST, it was the MSTX. So I bought puts on a bunch of MSTX, and I also as because I like the hedge. Sometimes I'll buy like a call or a put on the underlying. But here I bought puts on MSTZ, which is the bear of so buying puts on MSTZ means you're long. So I bought puts on both, right? And it plummeted so much that I made so much more on MSTX. It countered whatever I lost on MSTZ. And so it didn't matter. Like I was way up. And so I sold all my MSTX once I saw that Michael Saylor stopped diluting. And I still have my MSTZ because they expire on July 17th. Well, lo and behold, MicroStrategy has gone up, and now my MSTZ are in the money now. And I'm gonna make if it goes up a little bit more, I'm gonna be making money on MSTZ now. Like you're gonna make money both ways. Like it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because I saw they had their new plan that came out earlier this week that made like MSTR go up a whole lot and things like that. So
yeah, the stretch,
stretch,
this will be $100 always. Well, now it's 75.
Yeah. I still have a little bit in stretch, but thankfully, like my average got lower down. But I think it's recovered back to like 90 something now. But yeah, I saw it drop to like 72. I was like, ooh.
I know it'll be 100, until we lower it.
yeah.
That's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, I this is what I've been doing. So this is not financial advice. Don't sue me. But that is that's what I've been doing personally, and my accounts have been looking pretty good since I started doing this, and I'm going to keep doing it. So I recommend it. I think. But not financial advice. Okay. Well, anything else on stocks? Because we could go to TV shows if you have time.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so you've been watching From, and I guess spoilers, but and Kenny, I don't know if he's still on. He's the one who got me into From. So thank Kenny for that. It's a phenomenal show. It feels like Lost. I call it like a creepy Lost. It's the same thing. Like these people are trapped in a place they can't leave. The island, this village, and then there's this like. There's like horror thing that threatens them. There's the black smoke monster in Lost and the others. And then there's the ghoul. I call them ghouls. I don't know if that's the correct term. Like you can't kill these ghouls. Like they come out and eat people only at night. And you just can't kill them unless it happened once. But it's a weird circumstance. So you have that. And then this year, I think it took it to a new level, which was also like Lost, because Lost had the Man in Black and Jacob. And it was really, the whole show was really a chess game between the Man in Black and Jacob. They were moving around everyone like pawns, and they were just playing against each other because the Man in Black just wanted to kill Jacob for, reasons. And then here, I think it was this season is kind of revealed. We had the Man in Yellow. It's funny, the Man in Black, the Man in Yellow, and then you have the other side. That's like you have the Boy in White who's trying to help, but like not trying to interfere, kind of like Jacob. Jacob wanted to help these people. Jacob didn't want to directly help these people, but he wanted to kind of like make sure that they had a good chance of beating the enemy. And so that it feels like that's what the Boy in White's doing. Like he's kind of like directing them some way, but he's not giving any answers. It's just so similar. It's like the same show, you know. But what are your thoughts on season 4? And you told me that you still have the finale to go.
Yeah. No, season 4 has been good so far. There's definitely been like some. I don't want to spoil too much for people who haven't seen it, but like when they get the things from the water. That whole scene, like right in the middle of the season, that was intense. And then the stuff that's going on with Kenny and things like that. Like, man, I feel bad for that. That man's gone through a lot on the show.
I know.
But yeah, no, it's definitely been good. Yeah, I don't know if it's hooked me quite as much as Lost, but kind of like what you talked about before. Like, Lost just had like the best character development like any show ever.
Yeah.
So it's like. I think it's hard to compete with that, but still, it does a really good job of being, a horror type take on it. The only issue I have right now with this season is that the one character who is, I guess, the evil character, without spoiling anything in this season, I feel like her plan is just like kind of slow moving. You know what I'm saying? It's not as direct as I would have liked it to be. I feel like she's there the whole time, but the plan is I don't know. I guess I'm expecting something a little bit different from that character, if that makes sense.
Okay. You still have one episode to go.
Okay, so I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I can't say anything.
I will say this because sometimes shows happen like that. Like I watched the His and Her show.
I watched it too. Yeah, it was good. It was a cool twist.
That's what I was gonna say. The twist was like what brought it up to like, whoa,
Right. Right. if that twist didn't happen, would you still like it?
I would have thought it was like an average show that I probably
Yeah.
wouldn't really remember, you know.
Yeah.
But by the end, I was like, whoa, like that was a crazy twist, you know. I remember explaining that to someone. They're like, huh? And I was like, I know. That's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, with From, it's a lot happens in the finale for sure.
Okay.
And yeah, I can't wait to get your reaction to it. It was really good. But yeah, and like, and they touched on the like the reincarnation stuff, which I thought was interesting. Obviously, you have the Christopher and Miranda. Those are now the Tabitha and the guy with the curly hair. I just can't remember his name right now. But they have like, they're kind of reincarnated that way. And it's kind of like thinking like who else? It feels like people have the same roles. So this is like, you have the infinity sign. So this is kind of like, it's kind of circular in that sense. It kind of like dawned on me that the guy who was chained up, Martin, like I thought he was like the Boyd of the previous cycle, because remember the monsters had a chance, the ghouls had a chance to kill Boyd, and they said, no, we're gonna make you watch everyone else die, and like torture you that way. And I think that's what happened with Martin. You know, he was probably chained up and watched everyone die in front of him. So I thought that was him. And then we've seen like one-eyed soldiers, you know, through the guy's mushroom trip, and like you know, we have the one-eyed guy there. Like I thought that was really interesting. And what kind of dawned on me now that, you know, I believe you saw in the 9th episode, you saw the girl, oh man, I just got bad with names, but the girl who she gave birth to Smiley. What's her name?
Not Tabitha, is it? No, it's not Tabitha.
Tabitha.
Man.
Yeah, I'm blanking on the name, but the girl that gave birth to the Smiley, she, what did you see anything with her? You saw something with her in episode 9 at the end, right? When she sees Smiley.
Yes, yeah. You were talking about the one who was building like in her room the
the golem, yeah.
Okay, yep.
Well, you saw the interaction she had with Smiley, right? I believe that was episode 9, right?
Yeah.
I think that the past version of was the Kimono Woman, and I think she's becoming the Kimono Woman, personally.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can definitely see that now.
Yeah. So I think like each character has a role that they had in the previous cycle,
right.
Which I think is pretty cool. I think the one wild card is Julie. And I think my biggest gripe with the season, I love the season, so it's not really like, you know, I don't want to make it seem like I have a lot of gripes, but in the first half of the season, they had her story walk, and I thought that was so cool, where she traveled to like different parts of the past in the town, and they kind of just stopped that. And I was like, I wanted more of that. But I found it interesting where in the finale of last season, when a certain character dies, she's there, and she has short hair already, so you knew it was her from the future. And the man in yellow looks at her, is like, he said, when are you from? Like, not even like, not where are you, like where'd you come from? He said, when did you come from? And so I was like, so she's eventually going to keep doing it. So this is not like a one-off thing. So I guess we're going to see a lot of it next season. I was just disappointed that we didn't see more of it this season, but I guess, I don't know. I mean, next season's going to have a lot. I assume they have a lot to answer.
Yeah. That's the final one I saw.
Sorry, what'd you say?
And it's the final season too.
Yeah. I saw that. And their ratings are so high. I'm like, how do you just stop it? I feel like other networks will be like, oh, we have 8 more seasons of this. Like, and then it becomes bad, kind of like Walking Dead. Like, after the Negan stuff, it was just very slow. I don't know if that was, what'd you say?
That's why I'm glad they it's I feel like that's a good, like, Lost was like 6 seasons. You know? Yeah. I mean, granted, it was much longer seasons, but like, I feel like that's like a good point. You know, anything past like, I don't think I can think of a singular show that was over 6 seasons that was good. I could be wrong, but
TNG, but that was 7. You know, it's kind of about the same. I mean, unless it's like sitcom stuff, you know, like
or like South Park or you know,
right?
Yeah,
although that's fallen off a cliff though.
I can't remember what the last one I'd seen of it is. I don't like the fact that they're doing it on Paramount Plus, and it's like so sporadic and just like, you know.
Did you see any of them on Paramount Plus?
I know I saw. It's been so long since I saw it.
Yeah.
I think I'd seen some, but it clearly didn't stick with me one way or the other, you know. So
Yeah. It was so bad. Like they made fun of Trump, and like it's so easy to make fun of Trump, but like
Mhm.
they did like small dick jokes on him, and like you could do that about anyone.
Yeah.
It's just so dumb. And then they made him out to be Saddam. You know, like Saddam in the show Saddam Hussein used to be
Oh,
like
it's the
lovers
devil.
with lovers of the devil. Yeah,
Mhm.
and they made him the same way. They had him talk like Saddam. They made him lovers with Satan, and it's like it's the same. They just recycled the same jokes.
Yeah.
It's just so uncreative. And I'm like, yeah, these guys took $1 billion to work for CBS Paramount, and they just mailed it in. Like I didn't know. I want to say I can't blame them for taking $1 billion, but these guys are rich already. Like, you know,
Yeah.
at a certain point, like how much money do you need?
Yeah. And CBS, man. Yeah. I don't know if you saw, but they with the Free Press, they put out like this article about Trita Parsi. Did you see any of this stuff?
No. What happened?
So Trita Parsi, he's like an Iranian, but he's been living in America since like the 2000s and stuff. And he was just like, basically, he's just been, you know, talking in interviews, Substack, that like, hey, I'm against the war essentially. And the Free Press put out an article that was essentially saying, it said, there's going to be a State Department, they're going to deport him. And this wasn't
Uh,
actually real. Apparently, they were trying to preempt it to like throw out the idea like, hey, we should deport this guy. Like I said, a guy who's been here since like the 2000s, has his green card and everything. You know,
yeah.
he's, you know, has children here and everything like that. So yeah, that was a interesting little saga there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's yeah. So yeah, CBS kind of they ruined South Park. There was like I watched 2 episodes. There was like one funny thing they did. They did something with Christy Nome where they had she was,
Oh,
you know,
I've seen that.
you saw, yeah, they had her
With the
face
dogs.
split off and was crawling around.
Yeah.
I thought
Yep.
that was pretty
Yep.
funny. Outside of that, like they didn't, like everything else is like, oh, Trump has a small penis, like
Yep.
oh, he's banging Satan's, like oh yeah, you guys did these jokes already, like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, so long ago. But that's so it's because the show was so good for so long. It sucks
Oh, yeah.
to see it kind of disintegrate like that. But you
Yeah.
know, they
Yeah.
sold out. So but yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to From season 5. I don't know when it's gonna come out, but it's like I always want to like binge it, but at the same time, like when one episode's out, I'm like, I gotta watch this. So
Yeah.
and you were talking about what was the Obsession, the movie?
Yes.
Like you thought it was like really good and creepy, and I heard that from one of my other friends, and been waiting for it to come on stream because, you know, with 2 kids under 4, you can't really go to the movies to see Obsession.
Yeah.
like my wife is like, let's go see Toy Story 5, and like I'm like I heard like woke things about this. I don't know, like the Woody's girlfriend is like the main character for some reason, and like Woody and Buzz like were barely in it, you know, and that's what I heard. I don't know if it's true, but
The only
like,
thing I saw from like the ads, I saw that like the tablet was the villain, and I was like, okay, I'm on board. Like that's all I needed. Like I heard
Yeah.
that, and I was like, okay, I'm on board with that messaging. You know, like you
That's
know,
true.
working my other job, I work with like kids and stuff like that, and like knowing how they are around tablets, man, it's like a drug almost. I'm like not even
Yeah.
exaggerating. You know,
I know it's terrible, and like you have these YouTube videos that are like they're so weird.
There's so like I saw a kid just this week. I was like, I have no idea what this is. Like, it's just like weird and like popping out at you, and like I don't know. It's yeah.
I used to, like when I was I used to take my son to swim lessons when he was say a year and a half.
Mhm.
And you know, like even like I'm trying to change him, he wouldn't like sit still. Like even now he's like just jumping all over the place. Like back then he's like I can't really talk to him at a year and a half. And
Mhm.
so I was like, oh, just here, take the phone. Like, let me just watch it while I change you, and then I'll take the phone back. And then like he was just like, you know, he's on YouTube and he's like swiping like left and right, and he would always stumble on these like very strange videos. And
Mhm.
I was like, this is disgusting, like some of this
Mhm.
stuff. And I was like, I can't let you watch it. And then of course he cries, like, you know, like, and so Yeah, he would always call it Coco, like the videos Coco for Coco Melon. He's like, I want to watch Coco. He doesn't say that anymore, but now he's like, I want to play video games now. So yeah, he's actually like pretty good. He like beats like some levels. I'm like, he's 4. I'm like, I never did that one.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Like
I would not be able to.
He beat the first level of Donkey Kong Country, the original on SNES. Yeah,
that's really impressive.
I know. I'm like, dude, you beat the level. Good job. And you know what he does is like he like whenever he plays a platforming game, like when Donkey Kong jumps, he jumps. Like it's like a workout, and it's like he's sweating by the end of it. I'm like, this is incredible. He's like,
get that workout in, man.
I know. I'm like, why didn't I do this? I wouldn't be so fat now. But yeah, no, he loves that stuff. But yeah, we stopped. Like you're totally right with the tablets and everything. Like we had to nix it. It's so like these videos, like who makes these videos? Like
that's
kind of like what kind of I want to meet the person who made these videos. I just want to like look at them in the face and the eyes and be like what's wrong with you?
Right.
You know,
it's literally brain rot. It's like I've seen once like it was like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse theme song, but like made with like paper mache type animation and like all like weird noise. I'm like, what is it? Like, yeah, I'm just like, this is like messed up. Like,
yeah,
we had Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Why don't we just watch that? That's fun,
right?
Educational, and and like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Like one I saw was like it was like a Luigi head, and like one of the characters like pulling the tongue out, like it's so weird.
Yeah. Wasn't there? It was like a whole thing, wasn't it? Like Elsa Gate or something like that.
Elsa Gate, yeah, where like Spider-Man was chasing a pregnant Elsa.
Yeah,
and, some of these are like violent too.
Yeah,
and it's just like I don't know. And they're mostly shorts. So my wife disabled shorts on our on her account, so at least that helped a little bit. Now like we try not to let our kids watch.
Yeah.
The only time they watch the phone is if we're cutting their nails, because like they have to be preoccupied, you know. But we make sure it's like actually a good video, not like crap, you know.
I know. It's like my parents when I was growing up, like they wouldn't let me watch YouTube, but like man, what we were watching was like tame compared to like the stuff that's there now, you know. That was like when YouTube was first starting to like get its footing, not now where like any weirdo with a camera can put something up there.
I know. Well, when I was growing up, we didn't have YouTube, so I'm gonna date myself. I'm 43, so I didn't get I got my first phone when I was 18, and we went to or I think I was just about to turn 18, and I went to Great Adventure with 3 of my friends, and so I put my phone in the locker. And my friend had the key. He put the key around his like it was a key ring. He put it around his arm or something, or his leg. I can't remember. And we rode a roller coaster, and like he's like, guys, I dropped the key. I don't know where it is. I'm like, well, you know what? We'll get an employee to open it. That'll be fine. And so we go there at the end of the day, which was a huge mistake because we should have just gone immediately. But we go at the end of the day. We ask an employee to open up the locker. And he does, and it's empty because like someone emptied it out because they found the key. And so I lost my phone the first day I got it. Yeah, I know.
That was your first day. Oh my gosh.
The first day, my dad was like, here's the phone. I was like, well, Dad, I lost it already.
Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal.
I know. And I didn't get another phone till like I was like 3 years later. So like my I think my junior or senior year of Penn State, probably senior year. I used to, it was before Facebook, it was before cell phones for most people. We'd be like, oh, I guess we're just going out. We can't like talk to people, like, you know, meet somewhere. It's like, oh, we're gonna go out, like we'll see what happens. And it's kind of like a cool thing to that, you know. It's kind of like adventurous. Like now you're just like, oh, you text people like, oh, let's meet at so and so at 8 o'clock, right? And like now it was so different back then. I remember like when I was a kid, I used to ride my bike around the neighborhood, just like looking for other friends of mine who were, you know, used to like pull out, like ride to a friend's house, ring the doorbell. Hey, is Dean home? You know, is Michael home? You know, like if sometimes they were, sometimes they weren't. And you just never knew. You never knew. And like now it's like so different. So it's crazy. Things change.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is great. I think I first got my phone just because I did like track practice after, and that was it. And it was just like strictly the text. I mean, we didn't have like the smartphone at that point, but we had like one of the ones that like the keyboard or whatever. Yeah, I see. Like, I think some kid today he's like 3 or 4 and has like a phone. I'm like, what are you doing with a phone at that age? Like I think his own phone. I don't even think it was mom's phone. And I'm like, that is next level,
Yeah. My son plays with this kid. He's 8 in the neighborhood, and he has his own phone. And like that's insane. I would never let my son have a phone at 8. Like, earliest would be high school at some point. Like not 8.
Yeah.
And I see a kid. He's a little older. He's probably like 10 or 11. He rides around the bike in at the neighborhood, and he's using the phone as he's riding the bike. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get something,
right? Right.
And apparently he has it because he keeps doing it.
Or maybe he just didn't learn his lesson the first time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah. You're like Byron Leftwich was like he hit a parked car like 2 or 3 times, I think. That's kind of crazy.
He's like the guy from The Wire when he's trying to like recalculate his
yeah. Oh, that was a good show. Any other shows you're watching?
The one that I have watched, I think it was earlier this year. I'm trying to remember now, but that is like the best out of any of them that I've seen. Like even better than the like my second favorite was probably the Something Always Bad Happens, or however the long title. Like
something bad's going to happen. Something very bad's going to happen, or something.
Yeah, that show was really good. It was I liked it because I like slow moving horror, which like if you don't like slow moving horror, you probably won't like it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But yeah, it was really, really good. But I think I liked One Piece even better. One Piece was phenomenal. This was their second season. Season 2. Yep. I mean, like just their casting is like so perfect for that show, and it's like so vibrant, and like each episode is like very distinct. They had like this episode with like this whale, and it's like one of the best episodes I've seen in a long time. And you like have like these genuine feelings for this whale that is in the episode and things like that. And it's funny because I guess it's really catching on because this actually ties in a little bit to what I've been writing about and things like that. So they have the Jolly Roger flag, and it's like what Luffy, like the main character, has, because they're like basically the good guys, anti-corruption, things like that. Mm-hmm. That flag has shown up in protests in Nepal, the Philippines, Indonesia, Albania, really? all of those countries. Yep.
Wow.
So, and there's another guy who works for the Gray Zone named Kit Clarenberg, who I did an interview with him maybe a month or 2 ago. He's awesome on this stuff, but he's written a lot about the ones in Indonesia. And I think he has one coming out soon about like Nepal and things like that. But yeah, it's been crazy seeing that flag. You're like, hey, that's from that Netflix show I really like. I've seen that before.
Yeah, I like the first season. That was really good. I haven't watched season 2 yet. Is season 2 better than 1?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, season 2 is just phenomenal. Like I said, and I like that show's like, not to take away from because From is really good, but at a time, sometimes it's hard to like know one episode from the next. Like One Piece is very distinct. You know what I'm saying? Each one reads, or like From is almost like a long kind of story, I guess. Where like Lost, you could, because it's like the Juliet episode, the Sawyer episode, the where From it's almost like a long kind of thing. But the One Piece are like so distinct and like I said, so vibrant. So like I could not see a single person watching and be like, oh, I was bored by that. Like it's not possible,
Yeah.
There's always something happening and something interesting going on.
It was great. That's the one thing about From is that, compared to Lost, like the Lost had the backstories of each characters, and From doesn't. And well, maybe with Boyd, maybe that's it. But like everyone else, they just don't. And it's obvious because it's only 10 episodes. Like Lost was what, 23 to 26, something like that. I can't remember exactly, but they had such long seasons that they had to have background stories, and they even had background stories on characters you didn't care about, like Paolo and Nikki. Nikki and Paolo. That episode, along with the episode where Jack, they did a backstory on how Jack got his tattoo.
I remember that.
Yeah, and like that means you had too many episodes.
I think that one was even worse than Nikki and Paolo, to be honest. That one was like, what are we doing right now?
I know that was really bad too. It was like that. Both were middle of season 3, I believe.
Yeah,
that was kind of like It's like we got to move this along, and they correctly decided that like instead of 23 or 26 episodes, there would be 16 episodes per season and 4 through 6. And I thought
Yeah.
it felt like there was like a big change in season 4 where
Mhm.
it got a lot faster. It felt like a much faster show.
Yeah.
And I thought that was great. Even though I mean it was really, except for Game of Thrones, that was like the last appointment television I had. I don't know if
Yeah.
you could think of anything else, but like there was Game of Thrones beforehand, and then before that Lost.
Better Call Saul kind of was for me when it was on AMC.
Yeah,
That's the last one I can really think of because I do remember watching like the finale of that on like when it was live. But yeah, outside of that, especially since most things are on streaming now, like um, I would have said The Boys kind of, but not really. I don't know. Like that's kind of like a fine line where like I feel like I had to watch that because I would see stuff on Twitter like the very next day of it, you know. So I don't know if you finished the last season of that or not, but
I didn't, and I heard bad things about it. Was the finale bad, or the season of the final season bad?
I actually thought it started good. I thought it started
Okay,
pretty good, and I was like, okay, we're going places. And then
okay,
me and my girl, we watched the last episode, and she like she started the start of the show, and she really liked the start of it, right?
hmm,
But and then she's like, she doesn't care about spoilers. She's like, whatever. And so she just hops in with me to watch the last episode, and she's like, this is terrible. And I was like,
really?
I cannot believe this is how.
Uh,
I can't believe this is the ending we had. It makes no sense for the theme / style of the show. To have what happened at the end was like ridiculous.
was it worse than the Game of Thrones finale, or
um, so I guess you have to like take it like is it the finale or like the whole season? You know, if
final
that makes
season?
sense.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
because like the
right.
finale was just like a wet rag. Like there was just nothing happening in the Game of Thrones finale.
Yeah,
The worst was the one before that one where Danny's lighting everything up and
yeah, for no reason. Yeah.
yeah, that episode was just like I'm like throwing my laptop across the room, like inducing, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but it is really bad. I was like, I don't know how this was the conclusions of the boys. Like it just like I said, it makes no sense with the show. If you had a different show, maybe that ending works, but like the show's supposed to be like very nihilistic and very like you know, and the ending does not reflect it at all. I don't know if that's how it goes in the comics or not, but you know, if it was, they should have changed it. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we didn't know how the Game of Thrones ending would go because George R. R. Martin has not written the ending, which
yeah.
was. I remember being so concerned about it because I watched season 1. My lawyer actually recommended it to me, and then I watched season 1, and then I remember thinking like, should I read the books or should I wait till season 2? And then I went down the shore, and I went to the bookstore and I saw Game of Thrones. Like, I gotta get this. So I read all 5 books before season 2, and I remember thinking like, oh, he has some time here. It's every 3 years. So I'm like, I did the math. I'm like, okay, so maybe after season 3, he'll have book 6 out, and then he'll have book 7 out before season 6. I was like, that could work. And like, no, he just hasn't released anything. It's 16
Yeah.
years since the book 5, and
Yeah.
he's always like, oh, I'm gonna release it next year maybe. No.
He had like he said 1 year, maybe it's like 2 or 3 years ago. He's like, if it's not out by the end of the year, lock me up. And then like someone on January 1st on Twitter put a photo of him behind bars.
Oh my god,
That's
yeah.
crazy that this man is not just like at this point because of how poor the reception is on the show. I feel like there's a world where he made I don't know, can we do spoilers at this point? Oh,
Yeah,
whoever won, there's a way that you could get to that person
yeah,
being winning the throne, but now he probably may have taken the reaction that people had to the ending and hating that and be like, oh, I can't have that person win the throne, which that's not the case. It's how you get there,
yeah, yeah,
um, especially with Danny lighting everything on fire. It's like maybe you can get to that point, but you got to build it up. You can't just go, oh, this just happened. Whoops.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. She lost her mind for some reason. Like she became evil.
Mhm.
I love the people defended. Like, oh, she was always going to do that. I'm like, no, I've
She's freeing,
rewatched this like 4 times. No,
yeah, like
yeah,
she's freeing people and like yeah,
yeah. She
it's
free.
always the people who do it wrong.
She chose freeing slaves over taking the
Mhm.
throne back. and then she's gonna burn everyone down.
Yeah,
Like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
it was
Like
nonsense.
she had to have it so like people rejected her.
Mhm.
Like they had to build her up and like just bring her down so bad that she just grew so spiteful of these people. Like it had to be like really brutal. But like there she never even like met any of the people in King's Landing. Like she's
Mhm.
just gonna burn them for no reason. Um, and it was just so terrible. And yeah,
Yeah.
the long night, the third episode where they fought the Night Walk, the Night King, and then, like of course they had Arya defeat the Night King like for no reason.
Mhm.
My criticism was she never even saw the Night King in the first place. She didn't know that was
Mhm.
the Night King. Had she know there wasn't another White Walker,
Yeah.
like they built up Jon Snow versus the Night King for so long, and like he's
Mhm.
the prince who was promised and stuff like that, and like it is subvert expectations, I guess.
Yeah.
I thought it'd been cool because remember he stared down the dragon.
Mhm.
Did they even resolve that? Like
I
how he
don't
got
think so.
out of that? They didn't. No.
I don't think
What
so.
what,
No.
what they should have done, because like that was the undead dragon, and like
Mhm.
he was breathing like ice, I guess, or I don't know if it's blue fire or ice. I don't know for sure, but like they could have had like the Song of Fire and Ice where like Danny was immune to fire. They could have had him immune to ice, and like they could have shown like how he got out of it. Like the dragon like blew this ice at him, and he's like still alive, and he just like kills the dragon with like his sword. Like
Yeah.
they could have done something like that, and like that's how he stared down the Night King, is able to kill the Night King because he was still alive. I thought that would have been cool. Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just like had Arya out of nowhere. It's so stupid. And then Jamie just kind of killed his whole character progression. I think the Arya stuff could have came in where she could have Jamie on her list, and then
Mhm.
she didn't have any interactions with him. Like they fought against the Night King, but it's not like they talked to each other. So
Mhm.
they could have Jamie leave
Yeah.
after like they could have Jamie leave Brienne, and they could have showed later that it wasn't Jamie, it was actually Arya after she killed
Mhm.
Jamie, and it would have been her face. Like she would have taken his face off, like. And she would have killed Cersei by being Jamie herself, and that would have fulfilled the prophecy about her about Cersei being killed by her brother as
Yeah.
Jamie. But it's like I could go on and on about Game
Oh
of
man,
Thrones.
it's so bad. Yeah, because like the best episode of the final season was like that fight against the Night King, and even still, it's like no one like of consequence died. It was like Walder Frey killed more in one night than the Night King did during Armageddon.
I know.
And also it's like kind of this will go back to real quick about Obsession. So the only issue I had with that movie is the lighting, and it
Okay.
reminded me a little bit of Game of Thrones because
You
sometimes
can't see anything.
exactly you can't see it, but it kind of works for that movie where it's supposed to be creepy and things like that. Like,
Mhm.
the girl, just general plot is like he's like, I want this girl to love me more than anything. And before, like, I'm not gonna spoil the movie or anything, but
Yeah.
before they get together, it's pretty clear she doesn't really like him like that.
Uh-huh.
And he like, makes a wish and he snaps it open, and then she starts to like him a lot.
Okay.
And but she shut up at his door and she's like, hey, like, I like you, but it's like filmed where you can only see like her eyes. So moments like that actually worked out really good with the dark lighting. But then you'll have like your basic conversation, like I don't know who's who. Like that was the only complaint I had about the movie. Other than that, like the performances were insane. And like I said, it's some freaky stuff. Like it's not I don't know, jump scares never really get me because it's like that's just brief and like over,
Mhm.
But like the psychological kind of horror, like if something like that were to happen, it just like sits in the back of your mind. You're like, ooh, yeah, it's fantastic.
Trying to I watched a TV show recently, and I can't remember for the life of me what it was called, but it was about a guy and a girl who were conning each other.
Mhm.
And it was pretty good. I don't know if you saw it, but it opens with there's a body in the bathtub, and like there's a
Mhm.
man who leaves, and like it's like 90 days. I think it's called like something days or 60 days or 90 days. I'm trying to like Google it. Has days in the title. It was pretty good. I was gonna mention that to you. I forgot about it.
Okay.
But 100 Days to Fall in Love, is that it? No, it's maybe no, that's not it. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to find it. But it kind of reminded me of that sort of when you were talking about it, where like it's the first episode, so like you see the guy and the girl, like they're on a date and like they meet each other. I think they met each other somewhere, but like they're meeting for dinner, and the guy, you see the guy, he has like fake IDs and stuff like that. He's like 4 or 5 different IDs. And you see him, like they go into the restaurant. He's like, "This is the first time I've been here." And then the waitress goes, "Oh, nice to see you again." And so he's like, "Oops." And so you see that, like, you think he's like super shady and stuff like that. And
Mm.
then at the end of the first episode, this is the kind of you get hooked on this. You see that, like, you get flashbacks to like when they met. They met at a grocery store, and they talked to each other, and then he asked her out. You see the flashbacks to like right before the grocery store, and the girl's looking at herself in the mirror. She's like, "Hi, my name's Julie." He's like, "Hi, my name's Julie." And then like that's like the first thing she says to him. And like you can see that she was following him into the grocery store, so you can see,
Oh,
like, so he was the her mark, but like he was like trying to be like her to be his mark, like.
yeah.
And it was really cool. And you kind of like, you're like, "Oh, how's this gonna play out?" It's a really good show. Trying to find it. I'll find it. I'll find it. I'll share it with you and everyone else listening eventually. But that was a pretty good one. Yeah, we're at over 2 hours now, so it's getting late. So I'm sure you have to go. But thanks for coming on, Patrick. Really appreciate it. It was a great show. Do you want to talk about Libertarian Overwatch, your Substack, etc.? Like, where can people find you?
Sure. Yeah. If you go to Substack, and then it's just Libertarian Overwatch, you'll find kind of some of the stuff that we've been writing on there. So recently we've been working on, this one we went overkill on, but I've done 10,000 plus words on Iran in 2009. So anything you've ever wanted to know about that, you've got it right there. I've been reaching out to some people, trying to get some interviews from like people who are on the ground in the moment. I actually got one in for Egypt the year before, and I got that on the Substack there too. But outside of that, I also got a YouTube channel. On there, basically, we've just been covering like there's this guy he used to write for antiwar.com named Justin Raimondo. He's got like really great sarcasm / like geopolitical takes and things like that. And he had like daily kind of posts on there. But yeah, we've been covering some of his articles on like some of these revolutions and things like that. So it's been fun diving into some of those things. But yeah, I know outside of that, and then also if there's any other things that catch my interest, like I said, roller coasters, NFL, anything else that seems to suck now, I'm going to figure out why and do some research into it. I think healthcare is definitely one I wanted to do after a recent healthcare bill.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if that might be a lot to tackle, but yeah, 56 days. Okay.
56 days. It's on
Prime.
Where is it? Where to watch? It's on Prime, yeah.
Okay,
Prime. Cool. Yeah, it says season 1, so maybe there's gonna be a second season. I like this. You're kind of like, oh, what's gonna happen with these two characters, and like, what's with the dead body that you see in the first scene of the show?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like 56 Days. It kind of reminded me of Imposters a little bit. Did you see that one?
I haven't.
Oh, you never saw Imposters? Oh, hold on. The last thing before we sign off, where to watch Imposters? I like the show a lot. It's on. Unfortunately, you have to pay for it, I guess. It's only $2, but or $2. I don't know why. If you have Amazon Prime, you should not have to buy it. That's stupid.
Right.
But let's see. Yeah. This show. The show, it opens with this girl. She's married to this guy, and or they're about to get married or something. I can't remember exactly. It's the first episode, and then she like leaves him, and you kind of like trying to figure out why, and then he discovers that she's a con artist, and she conned all these people, and it's such a good show. I liked it a lot. Fortunately, it's not free, I guess, but maybe it'll be it'll be free in the future. But it was a really good show. But yeah, 56 Days is free now, so you can watch that. I like this a lot. So I'm curious to hear your opinion on that one. But
yeah,
I liked it.
Definitely sounds very interesting.
Will there be season 2? Is okay. Highly unlikely. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of weird that they would say season 1, but yeah. Yeah, so I would recommend that. So we'll there's a show for you to watch. So and I'll have to watch Imposters when it comes out in streaming. So all right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. We'll be back, I think, tomorrow with Tom. Not sure, he didn't say no yet, so it might be on. If not, then I'll talk to you on Tuesday. But yeah, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit walterfootball.com, and check out Patrick's content on the Substack, libertarianoverwatch.substack.com. But yeah, and also thank you so much for the super chats, Kenny for the $1 and Kevin Kovac for the $10. It's been a while since we had some super chats, so it's nice to get those. So really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. And yeah, Patrick, once again, thank you for coming on. It's great to have you on. I'd love to have you on again, sometime in the near future.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hope you have a great night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.